Yeah, Film Vault. Welcome everyone to the Film Vault. That's Anderson. I'm Brian Bishop. We are your hosts. Top 5 this week. Top 5 movies that would be better if they're holiday films. Mm-hmm. Emily Hood, brings us this great suggestion.
Yes, I'm 99% sure that it was Emily Hood from when we did the live watch-along
of Body Slam.
Body Slam, yes.
And
it was a fun time with the listeners. It's always a fun time. We did that last week.
Ooh.
Thursday.
I got our next movie.
Do you? Well, yeah, I guess you're just always winning. So
that is true.
He's always cheating.
It's true. He is.
That's we're all gonna win.
That's how I interpret this.
Guess what's streaming on Amazon Prime?
What's streaming on the old Amazon Prime?
You put those together, and it makes.
We're watching Gotti.
Gotti.
Really?
How great is that?
You think it's a good plan?
Gotti's good.
Yeah. I mean, no, Gotti's not good.
But it could be good for a watch.
Could be a fun watch along. Having a little Chianti, maybe. Huh?
It makes a fist.
Stacy Keach not crushing it. Stacy Keach not crushing. That whole movie doesn't deserve to be on screens. Like really, and we're promoting it.
You ain't never gonna see another guy like me.
What is that? How did it go so terribly wrong?
You ain't never gonna. Travolta committed to that role.
He commits to every role.
But like he was in.
Have you seen?
What was the one you played?
The Fan.
Yeah, something about fame or fandom.
Fanatic. Yes. Like he was playing a fairly severely autistic man with a lot of tendencies. There were some creepy moments in there. You know what? I appreciated how much he committed in Fanatic. And
would that be a good watch long?
It's almost too good for a watch long.
Oh, really?
Fred Durst directed it.
I thought you said it was very bad.
It's got some tonal issues, and it's just weird because you don't forget that it's John Travolta really stretching.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Unlike Gotti, where he loses himself in the role.
I mean, he's got some limitations, maybe. I love the man. Love is a strong word. I like him a lot.
I tolerate the man.
Phenomena. It's fucking tight.
What was the courtroom exchange with the guy who double-crossed him? I'm talking to a dead man.
I don't know. We'll get to all that when we watch it. That's the Christmas watch-along we're doing?
Most likely.
Mm-hmm. We'll be doing this the third week of December. And I should say that next week, I guess you're in for a treat if you like abuse. Yeah. We did a little Flickfession.
Yep.
With not just Brian Avery and I, but we also had the one, the only.
Oh, who's Brian Avery?
That's you guys. Florence Brummer joins us for next week's Flickfession, as well as
imported from
Mike Carano and the one, the only Diana Vandekamp, all the way from Ireland. All six of us got together, did a little Flickfession. We spent a lot of time talking about Love Has Won.
Oh yeah.
Should have been called Mother Love. I mean, Mother God.
Mother God
is what it should have been called. Yeah,
Father God.
Diana, you misogynist. Diana, Avery, and I had all seen it, and Mike Carano, and we were all talking quite a bit about that. And then it'll be followed up. This is next week. Then it'll be followed up with a show that probably should not be re-released, but top 5 movies based on true stories from 2012 will be released.
I heard glowing reviews.
I don't like it. I listened to it and I can't stand myself. I was a young fool,
young punk.
I had a lot of growing up to do, which I've done some.
How many times did you say this show's a service?
I didn't, but it's
the subtext.
I think maybe this is the last best of will run for a while because I can't listen to them, man. It puts me in a bad mood for a long time.
Are they ironically titled best ofs?
I mean, best of is just a loose term. Sure. We're playing a classic. It's a classic episode. And then the following week is the annual Christmas show.
That was rousing.
And then in between Christmas and New Year's, we will be back with, I would imagine, a whole lot of very big, fat, juicy Flickfessions reviews, as well as a new top 5.
Big time.
And then everyone can look forward to the new year. The first show of the new year will be Brian Free.
Well, I don't know why people look forward to that.
Avery and I.
TV filled.
Me and Avery.
I don't know about all TV vote. Let's not go nuts.
I don't know if it'll be all, but there'll be some TV.
Yeah, there will be TV vote. Avery and I.
Me and Avery.
All right, you see, we all look forward to
Andy and myself.
We all look forward to not hearing that. So, also, I keep forgetting. Here we go.
What do you think it means?
What's that?
What do you think it means?
What do I think?
That was a running gag. running out. Your dad provided us with ample material.
Can I give you a couple movies to watch in between now and the time we get back together?
Sure.
All right, couple listener assigners for TJ
Oh,
Tut.
I see. Yeah.
For TJ Tut, we're going to be watching Don't Look Now, Donald Sutherland movie from 1973.
Hold on, got it on my screen.
Don't Look Now. It's in quotes. I'm not sure exactly why it's in quotes. Maybe we'll know by the end of the movie. But Don't Look Now, 1973's Don't Look Now, will be watched by you and I. Thanks to TJ
Don't
Tut.
look up.
Yeah. Don't look now, Brian. And then thanks to Nick. No, that's not true. I was gonna skip over to Nick.
No.
But no. Thanks to where is it? Stray Dogs will be watched. Thanks to Andrew Martin. Stray did that same joke last.
Straw Dogs and Don't Look Up.
Kurosawa film, another Kurosawa film. So Stray
It's
Dogs
gonna be a weird Flickfest next
and
week.
Don't Look Now will be watched in Flickfest by you and I, possibly Avery. Will
Is
come
that
in as
next
well.
week?
We also have Infinity Pool coming soon, as well as The Worst Ones. Okay, all right. Yes.
Stray.
Infinity War and The Last of Us.
Nope.
Sorry. Is Stray Dogs the 2014 film?
It's Kurosawa, so no.
Oh, so obviously not. Is it Stray Dog
guess.
1949?
That would make a lot more sense. Let's move on. Yeah.
Let's keep talking.
Let's keep talking. Oh, the live show, the annual Born to Act Players live show.
Oh, yeah.
We
was
should do a
on
live show.
Saturday.
Avery.
It was on Saturday. Mike and I and our new friend Eric Anthony. This is the kind of group it is, Brian. Just to let you know, like we had a boom operator, professional boom operator who works on big productions.
Okay. I saw him on set, and he seemed like he knew what he was doing.
He came in on the Loaded for Bear short film that we shot over a month ago now. God, time flies. And he absolutely loved the community.
Loved the money.
The actors, the people that were the assistants. You know, we have a bunch of Born to Act players and their assistants are in the Loaded for Bear short that we shot, along with working actors. And he loved it so much, he's been coming back to the Thursday class and just hanging out.
Oh, really?
And then he volunteered his services to help us shoot the live show, backstage
Amazing.
stuff, and be a camera roll.
Nice.
And then he was actually getting some really primary shots throughout. He was on his feet. He was working. And so that's the kind of community it is. Like people will come in, work on it for a day, as he did. I had never met him before. And he's like, hey, can I come back? I'm like, of course you can come back. And he's part of the group now. Hey,
That's great.
he's part of the group. Eric Anthony, shout out to Eric Anthony. He doesn't know this show exists, which is possibly a good thing.
Odd. He likes film, and yet he's not aware of us.
Well, I'm not like, hey. Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, he may have heard it way back in the day. Maybe he heard it last week. He didn't make a connection. All right.
Oh, maybe he's a P1 listener. I have no idea who you are. He's like, oh my God, it's the same guy who hired me to work on his film.
P1 listener?
P1 it's a radio terminology.
Oh, I see, like a primary listener.
Yeah, it's your first preset back in the day.
Yeah.
This is really
That's old,
an
man.
old term.
Yeah.
It's like potentiometer.
Mm-hmm.
Just a term that's not really used anymore.
Can we move on to Fanflickssions?
What have the people seen?
I was enjoying this.
So yeah, anyways, that was my little Loaded for Bear
What do you think of me?
doc plug, loadedforbeardoc.com. Please do share that promo video. I have big designs on how to spread the word. I have not followed through on any of them yet.
Send me the link so I can put it in the show notes.
It's in last week's show notes because I put it in myself. So if you just copy and paste from last week, that would be great.
Brute.
All right. And away we go.
I'm writing myself a note.
Here we have it.
And away.
What have the people seen, Avery? In a little segment we call Fanflickssions.
And away we go.
Sorry.
Fanfliction.
By none.
Compiled by, thank you, the Mitch Burns, otherwise known as the Bitch Merns, as he said before. Joseph Grenier on Facebook. I saw
bullshit.
Silent Night and had no idea there was no dialogue going into it.
None.
Well, now we all
Right there
do.
on the title.
Good action. That's a
Nope.
good point.
There's no daytime either. All night,
That's right.
all silent.
All night shots.
Good action sequences towards the end, and the actors, in my opinion, did a great job portraying grief. But I felt that the zero dialogue was a bit gimmicky.
A silent film about grief.
3 to 5 stars.
Fun.
Kind of like, what was that weird abduction movie? No one will hear you scream or whatever.
No one will save you.
No one will save you. That felt kind of gimmicky. Alicia Weldon on Instagram saw Saltburn. She should host the Film Vault.
I was gonna
and had a great time. I enjoyed this way more than Fennel's first film, Promising Young Woman. So many great performances, along with excellent production, design, costumes, and cinematography. While this film is clearly not for everybody, for those of us, it's you're in for quite a ride.
All right.
Alex Simpson on Instagram, Godzilla Minus One.
Anderson was talking real shit about you.
absolute Godzilla perfection.
Alex Simpson's name did come up on next week's episode or the Christmas episode, and I did not talk shit. I did say that he has a lot to say, and he will get at you quite often. Not to Geo levels, but he'll get at you.
He's young Geo. Godzilla's
Geo in training.
Got Geo's Padawan. Godzilla is absolutely terrifying, and the human subplot is more emotional than it has any right to be. There's a needle drop in this movie that gave me chills. See this on the biggest screen possible.
I want to take a moment to thank Alex Simpson for, as far as I can tell, never contacting me. That is really thoughtful, Alex, and I owe you one, buddy.
I hear from Alex at least 2-3 times a week.
Oh, my God.
And
Alex,
it's always from his iPhone, and I always picture him walking down the road when he has like just a random thought. He's like, I want to share with Anderson. Yeah, get at Brian.
No,
Alex,
no.
that was called arms.
send me an email, contact@tfe@gmail.com. I'll send you Brian's cell.
And you'll forward it. Yeah, there you go. Hey, you know that Godzilla and Godzilla Minus One, he has Teddy Ruxpin eyes.
I see it on the rundown that you're going to talk about that.
Teddy Ruxpin eyes, Brian.
Really?
His eyes look like Teddy
That's
Ruxpin.
creepy. Teddy Ruxpin. Wow, there's a poll.
Adam Kaplan on Facebook. I saw May, December, and I liked it. The acting was great, especially from Julianne Moore and Charles Melton. Natalie Portman playing Moore's character with an exaggerated lisp was really funny. The score didn't match the rest of the movie, but the story was entertaining. Oh, I like the score. That's our Fanfliction.
The dramatic stabs. That's what they were.
Safe.
I saw a film.
Oh, safe. All right, Avery saw a movie. Avery's making us look bad over here, Brian.
I saw a film. Well, I saw two films. Do you want the one that'll make you angry first? This will be quicker.
Yeah, I like to be angry. You know that.
I saw a film.
Can I tell a quick story?
What's that?
This is probably more for after
So this
that.
is how the producer works on the show. He sees films that the hosts don't see.
No, he sees he's got the lifestyle where he can see the advanced screenings with the Q&As lately, and that's great. It brings value to the program. It's value added, as my buddy Greg Strzavosky on Cinematics would say. I have some rage issues, and a lot of the time I put them on a little bit. You also flare them up, like you trigger, right?
Yeah.
You bring them out of me.
It is a perfect symbiotic relationship.
Gotten a lot better in recent years. I've got away from here. I've gotten a lot better. Like I've never lost my cool with Atticus once, and he gives me plenty of opportunities. Like I'll get up and walk away, like I did today.
I punched Tess in the face earlier today.
So weak though. She doesn't
Oh,
feel
yeah,
it.
she did.
Daddy, is it time to get up?
She wasn't sure what happened.
Mommy, I think Daddy's trying to smush an ant on my face. No, that's him hauling off on you, dear. He just punched you as hard as he can.
That's so sad.
Like today, I was asking him to help me get him ready for hockey because we're a little bit late. We're always rushing to the locker room,
And you high-sticked him.
He was looking over my shoulder and at some kid. I'm like, don't be staring at other people. Let's just focus on this, all right? You're not my Barbie. And he goes, no, Dad, I'm not looking at other kids. And I'm like, you know what? I don't know why I'm racing to get you on ice on time. It's like if you're late, that's on you.
Yeah.
And he kept giving me lip. He's like, oh, but I wasn't looking. I'm like, but he was clearly looking.
Yeah.
So I just got up and I'm like, I'm just gonna go pee. So I just went and peed, and he was struggling. And
That's a very empowering thing I've done too, which is like that. Tess is like late for school. I'm like rushing her out the door. I'm like, come on, man, let's go. Brush your teeth, put your shoes, whatever. I'm like, you know what? I can go shit if you're late.
yeah,
Go
this
ahead.
is on you.
Not my school.
Yeah, you're gonna walk into school late, and class is gonna look at you, and you're gonna say something, and it's gonna not feel nice.
A little passive aggressive, but I like
A
it.
little, but it's also like, no, you have agency over your life and
right.
your actions, and you're 7 years old.
Reap what you sow.
I wasn't being mean about it.
No, but it
like,
was you suffer consequences. Yeah.
So my dad was a
rageaholic.
rageaholic, right? And I didn't realize it.
Addicted to
growing up with
rageaholic?
him, but he loved his anger. Like
How many Thanksgiving turkeys ended up the trash?
I think only 2.
Okay.
But
That's a high rate.
I caught myself doing this the other day, and I probably would not have recognized this. I don't know if I've ever really recognized it as succinctly as I did a couple days ago. This computer you're looking at right here, it's a Mac book, right? And it's got the little pluggy plug you put in for the power, right?
Dongle.
And it's magnetized. But this particular model doesn't really latch on like the other models I've had in the past, like my older ones. So it makes me mad when I can't really see and I'm trying to just get it in there quick and I'm looking and
more effort than it should be.
It's not going in, and I'm becoming more and more like each passing second I'm getting more and more frustrated and angry. And then I catch myself and I realize I'm kind of hoping that it doesn't go in this next time because then I'll get more mad. I recognize that. I'm like, I'm actually rooting for it to fail me so I can get more.
You're getting a dopamine rush from the...
Is it a dopamine rush or is it something else?
Endorphin rush.
It's something, and it's not good. And I stopped. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
I did not like that. You've had that.
I think, something similar where you're kind of expecting the worst and hoping it happens so that you can be right.
Caught myself wanting the badness to continue. so I could become more mad. And I'm like, that's not healthy at all. Took a step back, and then I fucking spiked the thing. This is a new one.
Straight down.
I did not. Okay, I'm sorry. Avery, you saw a film.
Moving. Might infuriate you.
Do I already know, though?
No.
Oh.
This is a different movie.
Okay.
I was reluctant to see it, despite the glowing reviews and being admonished to have seen this.
Oh, is this Killer?
No.
Killers of the Flower.
There was
You've already
there's
seen
another podcaster who's not seen this film.
Oh.
I was in the same camp as he was.
That says nothing about Brian. Are you
was
talking about
gonna say,
Brian?
I was in most
No, I'm
films.
not. I'm talking about one T. Cornelius White.
Oh, no.
I,
Thunder Road?
I was very quiet on the last episode, and you were
You
like,
saw Thunder Road.
and I was guilty.
and you didn't
I was
like it.
finally guilted into seeing it because I heard on the actors master you were admonishing Tyler, and you were
Yes.
like, me, Brian, and Avery. All of us were like, couldn't believe you hadn't seen it. Couldn't believe it.
Well, no, that's true. You were saying, I
Yeah.
can't believe Tai still hasn't seen
True.
it, despite the fact that you hadn't seen it yet.
But I felt I was living a lie.
So you lied to me
And
and
I
said
had to
you had seen it.
rectify. I had to rectify.
I didn't pick up on that.
I had to
They're
rectify
coming
this.
clean.
I don't know if I lied. I just didn't.
Okay.
I didn't tell you I hadn't seen it.
We're talking about Jim Cummings' first feature,
Thunder Road.
Thunder Road.
Came off funeral scenes last week. Yeah.
It did. Yeah.
Because just seeing the poster and reading the description, it seemed like it would be kind of a downer. And I was trying to. I didn't want to
There's
be
moments.
down. I didn't want to be down.
Huh.
And then I went, you got to suck it up. Quit being a pab. It's 90 minutes. And god damn it, I love this movie.
How
I'm
fun.
pissed
How
that
great.
it took so long for me to see it.
Yes.
Is
Good.
he- is
Thank
he-
God. Okay. I'm not mad. I wasn't mad at all because I didn't realize you had lied to me. I'm getting chills that you love it. You've seen
That's
it.
right.
And I love this movie so much.
Is he a slicker?
It's all right.
Thunder.
Is he a slicker?
Is he a slicker?
I love.
They got the lingo. It's got a little like a Letterkenny.
Sleater-Kenny.
No.
Sleater-Kenny?
The show that everyone watches with the weird accents. I watched it the whole thing when I was in
I
Chicago.
have no idea.
Letterkenny. Oh, all right. Never mind.
I don't know, but this was great.
Peaky
So
Blinders.
No, Brian.
if you've been on the fence, get off the fence. It's great. It's so good.
It's
so
really
well
good.
acted. It's not that long. It's touching. It's really fun. It was funnier than I thought it would be.
It's really funny. And did you like the opening scene?
I thought it was unbelievable. I don't. Why is he not working? More? Why does he not
does.
get more roles?
No, he's-
But why is he not bigger though?
Because
Bless
he
you.
does his own stuff. He works outside the studio system, and he only
But
makes his
still.
own things. And he kind of has a disdain, it seems like, for most productions.
That must be
He's
it.
doing things his own way. He's equity crowdfunding, which is a whole. I thought about doing that at one point too, but it's like a real. It's very involved and takes a whole lot of like you got to be a business person like
Yeah.
full time almost or happy. So that's how he did Beta Test, and then Beta Test didn't really. I think he was able to pay everyone back, but it didn't really crush it like it should have. It was my favorite movie of a couple of years
But
ago.
he seems like he'd be a prime candidate to accept a role. It would launch him, and then he could kind of do his own thing.
He could be like a TV guy for sure. I think on a show that would, like, he could be on The Office 2.0
Yeah,
or
Jim
something.
Cummings.
Yeah, it
he,
just-
he could write his own ticket if he wanted to.
He's young still. I mean, hopefully we see more of him in the coming years. But yeah, I think that he's really smart, and I think he's hell bent on doing his own project. I bet he's working on something right now.
My fear is that he goes the way of Shane Carruth, and like
No, he's not
so
that.
does his own thing that we just don't hear from him.
I don't
that
think
much.
he's that. I think he's a much lighter version of Shane Carruth. I get the feeling.
No,
that-
I just mean,
I
like,
want to be able to hang with Shane Carruth, and I think I don't want to say that the wrong thing, but maybe Shane Carruth is a lot. Jim Cummings is probably a lot too, but I feel like he brings a lot, like levity to conversations. I mean, I've seen him in interview. My buddy Eric Holmes interviewed him for like an hour and a half or something for Cinematics.
I feel like we could get him.
Yeah, we could totally
Cummings.
get him. Yeah, if we did
Let's
guests,
let's get Jimmy in here.
we totally have.
We can get Jimmy in
We
here.
can get Jimmy in it. You want Jimmy? We'll get you Jimmy.
I like Jimmy.
See, this is Letterkenny. You don't know Letterkenny?
Not at all.
Oh, you got this is your style right here. All right, you got Thunder Road done. Letterkenny's
I
next.
got to do Letterkenny. Okay.
You got to do Letterkenny. You will come in here quoting Letterkenny. I won't remember most of it because I saw it when I was in Chicago, like I said, like 3-4 years ago.
And I'll have been lying about seeing it, and I'll see it in 5 years.
Well, I thought you just told me that you hadn't seen it, so the lie is
You love
No, I haven't seen Letterkenny. I'm saying then I'll lie that I had.
Thunder. Right? You've seen
Very
Beta
good.
Test.
Yes, I have seen Beta Test.
Now you gotta
That's
see
very
Snow.
funny. He's much more dramatic in Thunder Road. I was blown away by how good he is at acting because he's obviously very funny in Beta Test, but his range in Thunder Road, I was blown away with.
Wrote it, directed it, started it.
I remember Thunder Road being jauntier, bouncier. You know what I mean? Like Beta Test was very good, but it got heavy at times. Or got
Same with
serious.
So
same with
was
this one.
Thunder Road. Thunder
Thunder Road
Road's
gets
sad.
very heavy at times. Yeah,
Right.
it gets tragic at times.
Yeah.
No, I know that, but I just,
But
Like
yeah,
the
I know
ending.
what you're saying. He was a little more buttoned up, I think.
Dusty. Dust.
Yeah, it earns it. Maybe
It does.
Maybe a little more powerful than Beta.
I think it is. I was blown away by it.
Letterkenny is a thing that people love. I liked it, but it takes a while to slip into it and get the rhythm.
For it to get going.
Well, the rhythm is just very particular.
But the real movie I saw, I got the scoop.
Yeah.
Went down to the recently renovated by Netflix, the Egyptian Theater.
Oh.
And I saw Maestro in all its glory.
Was
Egyptian
someone
theater.
conducting at the time?
No, that would be great, though.
Egyptian theater is one of the old true Hollywood iconic theaters out here. It's right up there with the Chinese theater.
Yeah, same Grauman's,
It's
yeah.
across the street.
But it's been shuttered for years. And then it comes back. I saw stuff there when they had their grand opening like 15, 20 years ago, and then they shut down again.
Oh, really?
And now they're back.
It's beautiful. The sound system they have in there, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Really, really well done. As for the movie, I really enjoyed it. I think out of my friend group, I liked it the most. I thought the way it was shot was unbelievable. Carey Mulligan, I'd be shocked if she
So
does
it's
not win
black
an
and
Oscar.
white. It's shot Academy, which
Black
is
and white for part
4:3.
of it. Yeah, shot Academy.
Part of it. So the dreams are like in color or something, right?
It's very deliberate. And
Yeah.
I don't want to give anything away. I have a theory as to why some is in black and white and some is not. And it's also the stuff in black and white is shot differently than the stuff in color.
I heard him talking about it in an interview. He's a very bright guy, this Bradley Cooper. Very bright guy, very talented guy, very capable guy. And he was talking about how since he was a child, he's wanted to be a conductor, but didn't really know what he was doing or know how to do it. But he actually, did his, much like Kate Blanchett did for Tar just last year. I'm curious to see how this stacks up because I loved that Tar last year. Love that Tar. But he equated being a conductor with riding a dragon. And he kind of explained it better than I'd ever heard anyone explaining that with the timing and the power of the hands and how one hand's doing one thing and the other hand's doing something completely different. And they have to be on completely different parts of your brain working on them. And just the power involved with each subtle movement.
Wow.
He said it feels like riding a dragon, which I really appreciated that.
I've not done either one, so I'm interested to see.
Riding or dragon?
Or conducting.
Oh, or conducting.
Because I wish there was a little more of that in the film. It's less about the music and more about their relationship than
Yeah.
it were for some of my friends.
Yeah.
But I really, really liked their dynamic.
Well, Mulligan's great when she's cast right.
she
and
she was
used properly.
she was unbelievable. And Bradley Cooper, it sounds like it works for some people, it doesn't work for other people. I really liked what he was doing.
He got into this role. He wanted to do every single voice, and he did, I think, for all the different. Yeah, he was studying all the voices for Bernstein's voice throughout all of his life, and like finding tapes and archives from when he was a young man, and like really spending like weeks like trying to get that voice down because he's a voice guy.
Yeah,
Bradley Cooper. I was getting confused with him talking also about doing the voice of Rocket, and when in the most recent Guardians of the Galaxy, he was adamant. He was really bothered with the idea of anyone else voicing Rocket other than him. So he wanted to do every single iteration of Rocket through his entire life.
Well, I've seen Rocket speak at Disneyland in line for the rides. Rocket like appears on screens and talks at you. I assume that's probably Cooper.
I mean, we've all seen him speak in movies. So.
Yeah, but I'm saying you said every iteration. I'm saying I've seen.
Yes, I'm absolutely. I would, but he wanted to do like the little baby voice of Rocket too, and they got to a point where they're like, "You're great, but you can't
do everything.
Let somebody else." Yes,
Yeah.
I guess they got a kid to do it. All right.
I really enjoyed it. It went down a lot smoother than I thought. This kind of felt like homework going into it. I was looking forward to it just because Bradley Cooper, Carey Mulligan, you got to see it. It's one of the big Oscar bait movies.
Yeah, we'll be talking about this next time we get back live.
Quite enjoyable. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Very curious on your thoughts because it seems to be, I could see you guys either enjoying it quite a bit or it's possible one of you would go, this is schlock. Carey Mulligan's great, but the rest of this is not for me.
I wouldn't say schlock, but maybe just not for me, perhaps. Homework, like you say, a little too dry. And a lot of the time with movies that I have problems with.
That's the thing, is he's very fun. And the whole time is him being charming. He's very charming and he's doing a lot of schmoozing and a lot of fun patter.
It's all going to come down to the chemistry between the two of them for me.
Yeah.
Because
that's why I didn't like Napoleon. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. So often that's the problem is they spend too much B story on relationship shit that I don't give a fuck about.
There's a whole lot of top 5 about that. Top 5 love stories you gave a shit about.
Oh yeah.
But this was the opposite. Very good. Would definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, if you're in LA, well, if it works for you, you got some free time, check it out at the Egyptian.
Is that a Netflix movie?
Yes.
Huh?
Are you a shill for the Egyptian?
It was pretty cool.
All right. Let's Fleckfest the movies that I think I'm going to need more of your help too, Avery, because I don't know if I'm doing Godzilla 1 by myself. Have you seen Godzilla
Oh,
Minus
yeah.
One?
Speaking of dragons,
Yeah, we might, because have you seen Godzilla Minus
No.
One? Mm.
have you
I
seen?
actually?
Have you seen Saltburn?
I chose something else.
Yeah,
Well,
so you and I
why
should
is
probably
he
do
not?
the spoiler. I know
We
that he
have
had to,
You
have
know
a
what,
funeral
Avery?
for his dad.
I was preoccupied this weekend. I'm hurting, Linda.
This would have made you, this would have distracted you.
That's a really good point.
You would have been thinking about something else at the funeral.
I chose instead to see May December. May December is a 2023 film.
Picked up on that when he kept saying safe. Safe.
Directed by Todd Haynes, starring Natalie Portman and Julianne Moore. Who the listener mentioned the other actor. I didn't write it down.
Charles Melton.
He was very good. He's getting a lot of best supporting actor
because he won
buzz.
Gotham recently.
I watching the film, I thought he was good. And
This is the husband, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Julianne Moore's husband.
Okay.
What's him in a second? 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. This is in theaters now. It's also on Netflix. So enjoy in the comfort of your own home if you're not near a theater that's playing it. And I guess the score is a good place to start.
Yeah.
Because it is very pronounced.
So
I was a nit. Oh, I could believe this.
Todd Haynes, I think this is his the most recent feature he did was Wonderstruck, I think, and he did Carol, which was the lesbian love story. He did Far From Heaven, which got a lot of accolades, which was taking a look at inside the American household where everything was supposed to be perfectly manicured lawns and everything is nice and happy, nuclear family and tradition, and there's all all the things that are going on today that are above surface were like down below, and that was Dennis Quaid as a closeted gay family man and what he had to deal with. And before that, he did a very, very different movie that's different from pretty much all of his catalog, which is my favorite, which is Velvet Goldmine. Absolutely love that movie, and that was his look at the Velvet Underground, but he didn't get rights to any like David Bowie's story or Iggy Pop's story, so he created all these characters that resembled them. Yeah, it was the soundtrack is great. I just love that movie, and I've been a Todd Haynes fan ever since. He also did Safe, which is with Julianne Moore way back in the day, where she becomes like a germaphobe, for lack of a better term. But I've never seen Todd Haynes approach humor like the way that he's obviously doing with May December. And this is a movie you almost need someone holding your hand throughout it to kind of let you know what the intentions are.
It helps seeing it in a theater for sure.
I'm glad you meant the humor, because the humor is very
subtle.
It's slow played.
Yes, very slow played. But I was chuckling very early on when I still wasn't sure what
if you're allowed to
make of the movie. With the hot dog. Okay, here's a little example of how Todd Haynes is just very subtle, and he's really great at exposition without words. And there's a scene early on where the husband is dealing with.
We should talk about what this movie's about first, right?
I guess. I mean, yeah.
So
it's a pretty easy thing to hang your hat on as far as what the storyline is.
I'll wrap it up quickly. So it's sort of the way Velvet Goldmine was based on all those real people. This is sort of based on Mary Kay Letourneau, the teacher who had a affair with her student and ended up getting married and have kids. I think they're still together today. That is the story of this movie. Julianne Moore, back in the day, we find out, had an affair with one of her students, 7th grader at the time. They ended up, she went to jail. They ended up having kids, getting married, and they're still married today. She's out of jail. They live with each other, with their kids. Graduation's coming up. And Natalie Portman is playing a high-profile Hollywood movie star who is traveling to Savannah, Georgia, to live with them, but spend a lot of time with them.
Immerse herself.
Yes, and learn
in
about
preparation for the role.
Learn about the Julianne Moore person as a character in a TV film that. No, we'll get there.
Yes. So Todd Haynes is one of those few working directors where everything that you see on screen, for the most part, is intentional. It's there for a reason. Most of it goes over most of our heads. I mean, there's a scene where they're out front and there's like a tour going on across the street. And you can kind of faintly hear what the guy is saying. It's a night scene. I don't know if you guys even saw it or remember what I'm talking about.
No.
And he's like kind of saying something to them as they're walking down the street. I'm like, those are extras that are there for a reason. And what he's saying, I was watching this with my sister and it was very late, so I didn't rewind and trying to figure out what he was saying. But it's like little things like that And I don't even want to call them
Didn't
Easter
catch
eggs.
it.
It's just like intentional filmmaking and everything.
very
on the screen.
deliberate.
Very
Yeah.
deliberate, very intentional. And he's trying to give us a look at the young husband early on before we even know the dynamic or
Yeah,
what
so
his
he
role
is.
is.
How old is he? 35.
I think he's supposed to be 36 in this.
Yeah,
36.
and he's got like an 18-year-old son. It's maybe younger than that, right? I mean older than that.
18, and then the oldest daughter is like 20, 21.
Yeah.
No, they're twins. I thought.
But they have the older one. The oldest child is in college. So they have
She was
twins,
pregnant
and
Oh,
then
is
they
that
have
their kid?
that's their kid too.
And we didn't see the kid, the twin, until much later, right? So, and he's just messing around with the grill, and he's like not sure how to work it, and he's trying to get
Yeah.
it on, and then it's just saying like this is not like a man's man, this
Yeah.
is not a grill guy.
He's a boy.
And then later in the movie, like, this is not giving anything away, but like, he's in bed with her, and she's giving him the cold shoulder, and we're learning like the power dynamics within the relationship, and she's saying you smell like charcoal, and I'm like, what the fuck? I was like mad. I'm like, that was a gas grill. I mean, anyone who was paying attention
Yeah.
at all. But then he says, well,
they
you're
get
wrong, because they get there. So there's no mistake. I should say there's no mistakes in this movie. That
Very
said,
intentional.
I don't know if it's for everyone. I'm not
It's
sure.
definitely
it's
not
me.
for everybody.
I'm not. I'm still not clear on. And I read, looking, May, December. Am I missing something?
It's a type of
You
relationship.
never heard that?
It's
I've
a
never
May
heard the May
December
December.
Oh, it's an
relationship.
idiom. A May December.
Oh, it's
romance.
like opposites.
No, it's just the age difference. Wide age difference is called a
6
May
months
December
difference.
romance. Yeah, it's a silly term, but that's
I've never heard that before.
I hadn't either until I looked it up for
Really?
this.
Oh,
So, some phenomenal acting, some scenery chewing for sure.
What'd you think of the her eldest son from the other marriage, the one in the band?
he was
Yeah,
great.
I wanted more of him. Like,
It was great.
it was very funny,
He was
very
a
good.
supporting actor, stole the show.
He was fucking great.
I would have liked more of him. He didn't show up till too late, and because there was some really good comedy in here, it could have used a little more for my taste, and I think he would have been just the character to do
Yeah.
it if he was interwoven a little bit more. But he was too distant. I don't ever need to see this movie again.
Yeah.
I think I get what he was saying. I think he was really just playing with insecurities and what's real, what's not real, and
Also,
Obsession.
it was borderline character study. I mean, you really got to know the Julianne Moore character well. Not so much the Natalie Portman character, but
because
they
she's
definitely-
vapid, there's nothing there. There's
Yeah,
no real
true.
person there.
And it was funny. So
It's an indictment of actors
A
in
little bit.
general, which is funny for a guy who
Well,
works with.
I feel like that's kind of tied to the reveal to me at the very end.
Yeah,
I agree.
that was kind of a perfect ending,
Yeah,
I think.
it was kind of genius.
Yeah, I really liked it. It was depressing.
Fuck,
For
I really
sure.
like this movie. I love the score because it was such a throwback to those like 80s and 90s sex thrillers, like
Oh,
the
yeah.
Fatal Attraction
So
and the TV,
onto the score. I
TV
feel
melodrama.
which I loved it.
I feel like the score is going to be a big topic of conversation amongst movie people because it is so in your face and it is so.
Over the top. It's
Yeah, but
it's
it's
ridiculous.
antithetical. I guess is not the right word, but like it does. It's incongruous. It doesn't.
I was
fit,
just about to say that.
but it does if you think about it, because at the end of the day, it's tabloidy, right? And it's TV movie and it's telenovela. I mean, it's not that, but it's that. It's in that
Yes.
genre. It's in that
It's a
thing.
satire of those, a
Yeah, but
parody at times.
Yes, but it's almost. Yeah, you're right. It's satirizing that whole culture. Right?
Yeah, but not over the top in a really hilarious
Oh,
way.
no,
Just a
not at
really
all.
subtle, like wink and a nod. Like,
It's
isn't
funny.
this
Yes.
funny, which kind of bothers me a little bit. I would like it to
But
be a
it-
little bit more
But
over
it's
the top.
kind of
But I don't need
resolved.
it to be Anchorman, but I need a little more. Like, this is a 1 on that scale.
It's
Anchorman's
funny,
a 10.
The score is the only thing that was over the top. There was-
The slow push-ins were a little bit over the top.
Yeah, occasionally, and not even slow.
I even think that the metamorphosis analogy was so on the nose and
Little
so
overdone.
over the top
Little
that I think it was intentional.
Which
I think
one?
The butterflies.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think that was like so silly that's why it was in there. It was because he was really trying to play with everything that is silly and over the top
Yeah,
and absurd.
it's
and
childish.
I mean, it really just makes us feel like we're all childish, and that's what she's drawn to. Is
Yeah, and also, if you want to say it's meta in this sense, with the metamorphosis thing, pretending to or thinking that you are so much greater than what you actually are. Because at the end, the movie is revealed to be what it is. You know what I mean? But the whole time they're talking
Yes.
it up like it's going to be this thing, and I want to get it right, and the art of it all, blah, blah. And it's revealed to be what it is, right?
Which he does the exact same thing.
Which was, I think, a pretty big reveal. And that was very interesting to me.
I mean, I think it's also open. I think that is the interpretation, but I think it's also open for interpretation. But I mean, she's just still.
But she's still trying.
It's
She's still
still
trying
lost
for it to not be that way, which I found was interesting.
I mean, we're talking about the end of the movie. What are we doing? But
Yeah, that's true.
Or she's so vapid that she thinks that's what she's going to
no,
do.
she realizes that it's
But either way, it's very interesting. I really like the
depressing.
ending.
It's exceptionally depressing watching people try so hard and not get there. Right?
But it was. But she's such a. I don't want to give anything away.
There's no one likable in this
There's
movie.
no one likable.
There's nobody to follow.
So
There's
that's
no
why
one
I
to
felt
root for.
okay about it.
Yeah.
I like the jail-side ex-husband. He was very nice. He was like,
There were some uncomfortable scenes in diners. They were everything's subtle in this movie. Everything's subtle. But the end of
Oh my God, her with the daughter trying on the dress.
that was
and
so bad.
You got me a weight when I graduated high school.
Yeah.
Or you got me a scale.
Yeah, we got to just the subtle jabs.
Good luck getting through life without a scale.
Good for you for being so brave to show off your arms.
Yeah, I never would have had the courage to show off my arms.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so we get a lot of like that kind of which makes you just dislike her that much
But
more.
she doesn't even know she's doing it.
She kind of does.
I don't think she does.
I think she does. I think that's how she operates, and she knows that she's doing it. But it's just normal for her. That's how she interacts with people.
I don't think
It wasn't.
she knows.
It wasn't innocent. Like, oh, darling. Like, it wasn't sweet. It was biting.
And there was a great moment that reveals a lot about her character in the middle of the movie when an order is canceled for
Oh,
years
God.
and she absolutely loses her mind. And the husband has this nice subtle moment of, oh, fuck. Like he knows what's coming. He's seen this before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Here
she's
comes
so-
an episode.
She's so fragile. Now, you can say that's how she is, or you can say she's a trauma survivor. Like she's been to prison. She was a national, scandal, whatever.
What happened
So
to her before, though? We never got there.
They alluded to how her
Before
mom was,
what?
right?
Before she was. I mean, we can't talk about that because they kind of did, but they didn't.
Are we doing a spoiler? Are we doing a quick spoiler?
I don't know. Can we? I don't know. It's just a one thing, but it's like coming from Loveline days. It's like what caused her to be attracted to a 13-year-old boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And we don't know if that's true or not true.
I would
yes,
say
yes,
one
yes,
out of
I
every
forgot
three
about
people. One out of three people listening to this will probably like this movie, and I can't say I liked it.
that. I really liked it.
I didn't dislike it, but I didn't
yeah.
like it. I appreciate it. Like it's like so many movies, but I'm not excited to like get people to watch this or.
Well, I'll meet you halfway and say it's undeniably good. I think I just don't want to visit.
And you get the sense that this is the movie that Todd Haynes set out to make.
I thought the
He
tone
nailed the
management
mark.
was unbelievable.
It was. There's a lot. So one of the greatest endings to any movie I've ever seen, and I don't think this is a spoiler, but it's the end of Velvet Goldmine, and after all the epic operatic, like just fever pitch creation that we saw of all these different feuding bands and music and creation, all this stuff that came from that era of music, and it's just electric. That movie is just on and popping. It's so good. It's so energetic. And the end of the movie is in an old, awesome-looking bar filled with smoke, and there's a bunch of, like middle-aged men smoking, some ladies, and they're smoking and drinking and talking, and it's like really loud. You can hear all these conversations going on, and you hear one of the songs from one of the bands. We recognize the song from, so
Yeah.
it's one of them. We saw them creating it and like doing the music video. Like we know what the song is, but it's playing in a small little speaker at the end of the bar, and it's just kind of there, but it's insignificant. Yeah, sure, it's background. It's part of the scene.
It
It's
is
source
value.
music. It has minimal value,
But
but
not
I mean
much.
overall, like no one's paying attention to it. It's just background noise.
Yeah.
And Todd Haynes is essentially saying like all of this is just.
Yep.
No, not that important. Like none of it is, and he does the same thing with this. This
Yeah.
is the same kind of message that he's got going.
Good call.
I really like this, and I think a lot of it had to do with seeing it in the theater. It got a lot of laughs, for myself
If you
included.
got a good audience.
It was a great audience, and it was very much viewed from minute one as a dark comedy. There was
Yeah.
a lot of laughter
Okay,
throughout
good.
this movie. So I think that kind of helped us. We all kind of arrived there
How about
together.
the stoner, the weed smoking scene on the roof. Did that get some good laughter?
Oh, enjoyable.
yeah,
It was
uncomfortable.
just the dinner scene, all of it. There was a lot of that, a lot of enjoyment.
Maybe I should have liked this more.
I think so.
Yeah,
Do you think Oscar nominations? What do you think? Do you think anyone's winning for this movie?
I mean, I don't know. I could see it. One of them being up,
Yeah.
if not both.
Yeah.
if not both, one up for supporting. One, how could you? They're both.
No,
Like,
they're both lead actors.
she could be supporting though. Julianne Moore.
Her
'Cause
reading
it's-
that letter.
know, man.
Natalie Portman's story.
Portman reading that letter.
Oh my God, she wanted it so badly. Oh, she was showing some. Mr. Skin's gonna be very, very pleased with this
Why?
with this movie. I mean, there was a sex scene where
Yeah.
she's fairly revealed down
Oh,
below. I was surprised by that. I just sold like another half of our audience
right.
on this.
You're gonna have to wade through some stuff to get there, though.
I know the people that would watch the movie for that will be so disappointed with everything leading up to it.
I do want a movie of just that son's band.
So I'm sitting. He was great. When he was just barking at them when he came over to the table and they're like still playing in the background.
Hey!
He's barking at him.
You can't sing that fucking song.
This is the slowest version of the song you've ever heard because my drummer sucks.
You kidding me, Todd? It's my fucking song.
You can't sing
And
this
then he just
song.
leaves to go back to the song.
Only movie got him.
But I was watching it with my sister, and there's a scene where Natalie Portman goes into the stock room at the pet
Oh, my
store
God.
where Julianne Moore and her 13-year-old student first consummated the relationship, and she went to the actual stock room for research for playing the role.
Sure.
And there's a scene where she's left alone in the stock room. The odd manager allows her to be back there by herself. And then she goes and she positions herself by the back door, sits down on like the cold slab step. And my sister and I are both like, she's not going to do it. Because neither one of us want to watch a woman masturbate. Brother, it's
for
awkward,
yourself.
uncomfortable.
I'm gonna say.
Oh, with your sister. I'm sitting there.
That's true.
That's a good point.
So Ashley's like, she's not going to. I'm like, I hope not. And by the end of that scene, my comment was, at least it was tasteful.
Yeah, she was right.
Like, there's nothing
Yeah.
gratuitous in this movie, really.
I think in a lot of ways, especially with that scene, it's a condemnation of true crime culture that we have. Of how we do not view these people as real people.
Yes, we definitely got a taste of that on Love Line.
This is just titillating. This is entertainment. This is fodder for me to consume. And that's
social media. Like, people
Yeah.
aren't real in 2D, right?
it. Yeah.
The
In 3D world. It's just the 5D.
I was going to say, Love is One is all consumed with 3D being fake, but I think 2D is fake. 3D is still real for me.
It's all about the 5D
It's
world.
about what about 4D? We never hear much about that with
Doesn't matter.
Love is One.
Well, Robin Williams isn't there. He's in the 5D world.
All right, so yes, I give it a mild recommend. I think the people that will like this will really respond to it. I think I might have a few years ago. I'm above it now.
Well done.
No, I just get I don't have time for.
I think the theater would have helped.
subtlety.
I
Yeah?
think you would have. I really think that this was a movie that would have been better seen in theaters.
Yeah, I really wanted to like it, and then I would, and then there would be stretches where I'm just like, okay, I'm losing interest. really did lose interest a few times.
Really?
That could just be me.
I was in.
That's you.
Yeah, is it you?
No, I didn't love it, but I respected it as like this is a very good movie.
It's like a solid 3.5,
I
4.
didn't enjoy it.
No, yeah, me neither. See, that's the thing. I didn't enjoy it.
Well, I did appreciate the artful way they kind of revealed each family member one by one. You know what I mean? First it was the first dad. then it
Almost
was
like one of these true crime, like Talking Head, like docu dramas you'd see on TV, where like we hear from the different family members in succession a lot of the time, and then we one after the other. Yeah, it was kind of like maybe. I listened to him in an interview, and he actually had the gall to suggest that he didn't see this as a comedy. So I don't trust the man.
Yeah,
I don't trust Todd Haynes. I don't trust him. I love him.
Unreliable narrator.
I don't trust. You should go watch Safe.
Should I?
Chester, or is it Lester? There's a man that was so consumed and concerned about germs that he was just completely mummified, covered in gauze.
Oh,
that's Lester. He's doing much better. Julianne Moore goes to the place where they don't allow cars within a mile, and it's like all just clean living.
Oh God.
Safe. Poison, I cannot recommend to anyone. It is a tough watch. That was his first one. Poison. Todd Haynes. Get on the Todd Haynes. Have you seen The Velvet Goldmine?
I have not.
Oh, you have something to look
That's
forward
a
to.
that's a fun
You're
one.
going to want to go out and get the... back in the day, some old man Andy over here, but I went immediately to the Tower Records and bought the soundtrack.
Soundtrack.
So good, yeah. Especially if you like Lou Reed and
Oh yeah.
you like the Velvet.
Is that all? Yeah, glam era.
All right. Let's take a quick break here, Bri.
Let's
Take
do
a break.
it. Coming up next, more Fanflickssions after this. Yeah, we're back. Welcome back. Time to talk about Oh, you guys did Godzilla?
What is this? Can I hear a little bit more? Who is this?
This is AOV. It's just a 22-second stinger.
This is. I love this style of music. I really, really do.
That's it.
That is like such classic hardcore punk from the 80s. I love
Nice.
it. All right.
Thank you, AOB.
Godzilla Minus One.
You
Take it
wanna
away,
walk
everybody.
Gojira?
That song was called Trans Rights.
Is that a new?
I don't know. We've got trans rights. Jared was fat. Die like a bitch.
Jared Leto was fat in that movie
I
that he
don't
made?
know.
Maybe about the guy that shot Reagan.
We'll see.
Is this a new listener featured art?
I don't know. It's just one of the ones that was in
Okay,
in the folder.
I like it. Brian, Godzilla Minus One. Take it away.
Please. I didn't see it.
Oh, Avery, take it away. Take it away.
Godzilla Minus One.
All right, Godzilla Minus One is like the 33rd Godzilla movie, I think, maybe 37th. I don't have them all. This is directed
We're
by
off to a flying start.
Takashi Yamazaki. There's 33 Japanese versions of this Godzilla,
Most of which are on Max.
made by that company.
Toho
yeah.
Limited or something.
Yes. And there's 4 American ones. And this one is unique in the sense that it was released, the time that it takes place is soon after World War II. In fact, it opens up before World War II is even done.
Yes.
So it predates Godzilla coming onto the scene, which was, I don't have the first Godzilla movie. When was the first? Could you look that up? See when the first Godzilla movie ever?
I want to say it was like 52.
Yeah, maybe mid. Anyways, that's an interesting little fact.
1954.
Because Godzilla is obviously a very, it's a very on the nose allegory for the nuclear bombs that were dropped on Japan and the nuclear fallout and the repercussions. And so, Godzilla Minus One. I was excited about it just because I've always been a Godzilla guy. I've always hoped for a Godzilla movie. I know, which is silly because Shinzilla has been recommended to me for years now, and I still have not got off my dumb ass and watched it.
Very good.
I think I will enjoy that. How
Very
does it
good.
stack up to Godzilla Minus One?
Godzilla Minus One is better.
Okay,
It
All
is
right.
better.
So
Quite a bit different.
this movie is it. What I look for, especially if I'm seeing like a creature feature in the theater, is like big, massive, giant. I can feel like I go back to the ATs, like that I saw when I was a little boy with Empire Strikes Back. Like just the absolute massiveness,
the
spectacle, like the scope, and just the fear that I felt sitting. And I'm still looking for that, right?
Sure.
And every now and again, I get a little taste of it. I definitely got a little taste of it here with
Oh,
this
yeah.
one. You too felt that, yes?
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of that era, there's all sorts of ties to Jaws with this movie, which are pretty like on the nose. So the story is this. It's about a kamikaze fighter. And he, very open in the movie, he lands his plane on a remote island off the coast, and he's got engine troubles, and he's a kamikaze.
So it says here in Wikipedia, it's set in 1945.
Yes, it's right. It's right at the end of World War II, and he lands and at this outpost that's filled with airplane mechanics, and their job there at this outpost. The whole point of this little outpost is that if you're having mechanical failures with your plane, you go there, they fix it, then they send you back off.
Team of engineers.
You can go kamikaze and die for the cause. It's at a point where they know that the war is pretty much over. It's just a matter of time. They lost. And this pilot, who ends up being the star of the film, lands there. Soon after, the engineers come. The head engineer says, "Hey, there's nothing wrong with your plane," suggesting that he just was using an excuse to get out of kamikazing. Right. That night, a young, small, 15-story high Godzilla emerges and takes care of business.
Fucks them up.
That's the first time we get to see this new iteration of Godzilla.
T-Rex style.
He is fucking sweet, and I'm in.
Nice.
So they all go down into their machine gun nests, and they're trying to like fend him off, and they're screaming at this failed kamikaze pilot to go hop in his plane, which is still there, and use his big artillery to take out this lizard. And he goes and he runs and he heroically gets behind the gunner
Has a clear shot right at his head.
and doesn't take it due to fear. And he fails to kamikaze once again because he knows probably if he draws his attention, he's going to die. Everyone dies except for the head engineer and himself. The head engineer is not happy that all his men are dead because of this guy's fear.
And his leg is shattered.
Yeah.
He's limping around.
He's now limping Kobayashi style. No, wait. Kobayashi? No. Oh, my God. Usual Suspects.
Oh.
Kaiser Soze style. Oh, Jesus. Kobayashi. Wish I didn't try and pull that because that was a
Although,
massive failure.
You have
Kobayashi's on there, right?
Kobayashi is the Peter Passaway, the character, the lawyer.
Yeah, and you see it like on the mug.
Yep.
Kobayashi. All right, it's in there. Oh, fuck, is this the end? Is this the beginning of the end?
You're in the ballpark.
That was bad.
So he fails, and then we cut to him going back into town. And that's where we leave Godzilla for a while. And we get storyline. And we get a lot of parallels with him not being a good kamikaze fighter and Japan losing the war because him and others like him were not willing to give up their lives for it.
And it is fucked. Like, Japan is fucked. You're in
Rubble.
Tokyo, and it's just rubble. It's shanty towns. It's bad.
Was that supposed to be Tokyo?
Yeah.
And he soon meets a woman and a small girl, a baby. And then there's a whole lot of storyline, which is going to work for some people and is not going to work for others like me. I
Really?
couldn't do it. I couldn't do
Really?
it. And I just can't vacillate between I need more lizard destroying things. Like the lizard part of my brain is firing, going, I just want more destruction and more action, more popcorn movie. Like I become Brian, right?
Yeah.
Where I want
not a bad
summertime
thing.
movie. And then it goes back to like melodrama and high drama and pathos, and I'm supposed to feel for these people, but the little boy in me is going, I just want more giant lizard. So I have a really
Interesting.
hard time caring about any of that stuff. Plus, there weren't a whole lot of reveals there. It was kind of like I knew the direction it was going.
I thought it was really well acted.
I'm hearing, it's well acted, and I'm hearing that people are really reacting to this. Myself, I couldn't.
'Cause I thought
wanted to.
this achieved what the modern U.S. Godzillas can't, where they go, I don't give a fuck about 11 and her dad. This is not well acted. This is not believably
11.
written. There's no like relationship. I just don't buy it. This I fully bought in, and I thought that was even more important with where the story ends up going and his arc as a person. And did you like his friends on the boat?
I
love
love
his
and
friends.
his friends on the boat were entertaining.
Great.
I could have used a little bit more of them. Maybe a little less of the family life that he was trying to thwart and say he didn't want.
But the friends were great.
The friends were great. I could have used a little more of the friends.
They almost reminded me a little of like a Spirited Away of one of those movies.
There is definitely the one guy was like he was almost taking cues from anime
with the
way that
big
he was
faces.
acting.
He was great.
Which is imitating which? I don't even know at this point.
I think that's just cultural.
Is that just Japanese
Like with
culture?
the Japanese military guys, it was great. All the yelling at the end is
a
just
lot of
great.
screaming. But I think I'm just like when you're holding the bar to other Godzilla movies, yeah, this crushed it. It knocked it out of the park as far as other melodrama I've seen trying to be brought into Godzilla.
Sure.
But it's a victim for me. It's a victim of Godzilla being so fucking great that I just want all Godzilla all the time. Now, there's other movies that have achieved that. It's like Alien is a great example, and they're in a different world. They're in space, and
But
maybe
Godzilla usually has this shit in it.
It always does. It always does.
Yeah.
It's still
You just
doing
don't like
it.
that. You just
And
don't like that part of
the
it.
movie's 2 hours, 7 minutes long. It could have been a tight 90 minutes with, if it was really saying something important that had gravitas.
I think it is, though.
Is it though? Choose life over war?
It's the Japanese making a movie condemning their style
That
of
is
warfare.
true. That was
and it's made
interesting.
in Japan.
Japan
The whole thing is how frivolously they use life and throw it away.
Japan takes a beating.
and cast aside their men and their population. I was just wasted.
Now, is this a new generation condemning the past generation?
And that's what I think it is.
That's
And that's what I think is very interesting. Is that I don't know if I've seen a Japanese movie. I'm sure that's in the zeitgeist, but I think it was a very interesting take on Godzilla that it's very anti-war and anti-Japan's
very
approach
anti-war.
to the movie.
Yeah, and very
How
anti.
interesting that like our U.S. take on like World War II, the Greatest Generation. They're revered, right? And like,
Well, if they won, they probably would be. And
Yeah.
this movie would not exist.
But the view is very much more so
Godzilla
you
wouldn't
threw away all these lives. You wasted so much human life and potential for what?
And well, for a loss, but if they won, it would have been a
But
different
I mean,
story.
it's very interesting to see them questioning just their style of warfare, of the kamikazes and the never give in, never surrender,
Ultimate
never do anything.
sacrifice, and like losing in battle and having honor. They mentioned that early on, like having honor to die in a war that we're losing, that we lost already. Like that, what kind of shit is that?
But what did you think about when you actually see Godzilla?
Well, you see him in the opening scene,
Yeah.
and then when you see him in the ocean, like I mean, every time you see him, it's just more and more impressive, and
It's fucking great.
it's the best Godzilla I've ever seen.
Is it man in suit Godzilla?
No,
or
but they
CGI?
do imitate that a little bit just for nostalgia.
The way
just
he moves on
to
land.
pay homage. He takes a step and pauses like a robot almost.
They made this
Which
for, I think, $15 million.
$50 million.
How? How?
1/10 of the what was it? What did I hear? 1/10 of Godzilla versus King Kong. 1/10 the budget. And look at how good it looked. I mean, it looked like I was looking at Godzilla at times. At times, it was like, okay, but it was different. It was something I hadn't really seen before. It works on the big screen. I don't know how it's going to look on the little screen. A lot of time on the little screen, it looks worse somehow. It's strange how CGI works that way. We've talked about that. But in the theater, like there is a giant monster chasing these people on a boat.
It's great. His face coming out of the water.
There's so many things, so many parallels to Jaws too. That it's definitely an homage to Jaws as much as anything else. Where like Japan is not alerting the population that he's on his way to Tokyo because they don't want to cause panic and fear. What the fuck kind of thinking is
Well,
that?
then the role of the government, right? I thought that was very interesting. Where ultimately it's civilians who have to save the day.
Yeah,
because the government is incompetent.
It's
They're
a
not
total
gonna do it.
condemnation of Japanese government, not just
And the
yesteryear,
military, yeah.
but today. Like, they still have government, they still have military. I mean, I'm surprised this movie's not. I mean, it's not that kind of government over there where they ban things on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm speaking out of turn. I don't know. Like, there's no way this movie takes place. It does the same things in China and
No,
sees a
not
lot of
at all.
day. Like, it just shows how free Japan is.
That's true.
But ultimately, I mean, like right to the end, like how did the very end, where I guess there's a reveal there. Like I saw that 1,000 miles away, and I'm like, okay, this is supposed to be a big sweet moment and like a surprise, but it wasn't at all.
I thought that was a little forced.
Yes,
And they could have, you
You know
didn't need
Godzilla's mom showed up?
They could have done it.
I'm not talking about the very very end. I'm talking about the climactic scene.
Yes.
The very very end. I mean,
Where you think
everyone
one
should
thing happens and it doesn't,
Yeah.
and everyone is surprised except for the
joyous.
audience.
Yeah. Okay, it wasn't. Okay,
But
good.
I think the problem was they really telegraphed it in a way they did not need to.
They didn't have to.
And that kind of pissed me off. That was the
Couple
worst
times
part.
they
And it was,
telegraphed it, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
It'd be way more interesting. They almost could have maybe fooled me. Maybe. If
Yeah.
they hadn't done the telegraphing. But I thought the scene where he actually gets out of the water and destroys that city is amazing. I loved the way that looked. I loved his laser beam or his fire breath.
And you could see it coming when it was starting to happen. You go, oh shit, here it comes.
And then it shoots and then it sets off a nuke of its own.
Yeah.
I thought that was the visuals were amazing. It was very satisfying.
because they had
to
never
watch.
had him create an actual like
nuke. It's just like a heat ray kind of.
right,
This
yeah.
was just him shooting nukes out
creating
of
like
his mouth.
mushroom clouds in 100 miles away, and you could see it.
It was great.
There's a scene, Brian, where a live news crew is foolishly reporting on what they're watching, and there's like an impossibly large crew too. There's like 7 people, and I think there's like a boom mic, a camera guy, and the guy who's actually hosting. There's like 5 other guys who could have fled to get to safety,
Yeah.
but they're all like in a little huddle, like reporting from atop of this building.
It's very much like that Simpsons episode, The Treehouse of Horror, with Kent Brockman and the giant the billboards behind him.
Oh, yeah.
And the Kent Brockman comes up on him and eats him. It's very much like that of what do you do?
They're reporting of like the destruction that's happening right in front of them, and
behind them. Literally, he's destroying buildings in front of them.
yeah, in front
Across the street.
And Godzilla's like
And they're going, oh, here he comes now. They're looking him in the eyes.
and then he just rampages the building by mistake. He just kind of
Rampage.
rampage from the video game.
That's right.
I recommend this movie to anyone who loves creature features and has an appreciation for Godzilla. I've been rooting for Godzilla to satiate me since I was a kid, and it always gets so caught up
Yeah.
with the B story, too much of it. This had more B story than the others even.
I think it's going
possibly.
to work for a lot of people.
Less monster maybe, but the monster that was there was fucking great, and the melodrama was elevated as well. I think there was more in this one than
Yeah.
I think possibly. There's a lot of Godzilla in this, though. Godzilla steals every scene he's in.
Oh, it's
Can I tell you that?
tremendous.
Unless it's a spoiler, why is it called Godzilla Minus One?
I think that's lost in translation. I think
It-
it's
yeah.
a plane
I
on. They
didn't know
just
if it
went
was-
through. They just went through the war, which isn't. I don't think that's even touched on most of the other Godzillas that I've seen. Like Godzilla
No.
is the war. He is the nuclear fallout.
They're past
He
it, yeah.
is- So I think it's like they just got done being decimated by 2 nuclear bombs, and then Godzilla emerges.
Yeah, I
out
think
of the
they're
sea.
sort of at ground zero, and this puts them
Right.
at -1.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a translation thing where it's much snappier
Or
in Japanese.
maybe they, since spoiler, like, Godzilla loses, right? Like, he always does. Maybe
Or
it's just a
does he?
score.
Or does it?
Or does it? Maybe they're just not giving us a score.
And they have the original score in this. Chills.
They always got to have the original score. They always have that, yeah.
But chills
So
at the
good.
end.
Because this is a throwback. This feels like a 40s, 50s monster movie in the best possible way.
And what's great is you don't need to know anything about it. You cannot have seen a single Godzilla movie. This is like a hard reboot.
Nice.
I loved her. I didn't love the lead. I think that might have been another problem that I had. He was committed, but
he was
just
trying
still-
his best. She was great.
She was really
The
good.
friends
the little
were
girl
phenomenal.
was fucking awesome.
Oh,
the 5-year-old little girl was
she was
fantastic.
breaking my heart.
I think the lead was the weakest part for me, and like he and Godzilla were the movie.
I think he was a very Japanese archetype that we don't really have.
Yeah.
That was kind of my sense. That he was doing something that was very cultural and not really.
He just didn't have that leading man vibe to me.
But the friends were great.
The friends were all great. They were all like typecast with like, we need this type, we need that type. But yeah, there was some fun-loving friends there.
High on the fun scale, I think, but also it's surprisingly sad at times, which I was
Yeah,
amused by.
was it one of our listeners said that they actually, I think they got chills or they cried a little
Yeah.
bit. And like I didn't approach that. I wish I did. I
I got
to.
dusty with a kid. Yeah,
You know what's funny is I came out of this and I was really curious. I wasn't sure how it was going to score on Rotten Tomatoes. I wouldn't have been shocked if it was 40.
really.
In the 40s. Yeah, it's 96, I think.
People are
When I
loving
looked
it.
at it, people were loving it, but I didn't know how it was going to be consumed by critics. Like, 'cause
there's
there
a-
was a lot of schlock. There was a lot of stuff that was telegraphed and questions, just a little questionable acting.
I think I don't know. I think it's going to work for a lot of people.
I
think it just really did not work for you. I think a lot of people.
It didn't not work for me. It's still Godzilla. Godzilla has been disappointing me. Like,
I know.
Like Transformers secretly disappoints Brian for decades now.
Yeah.
You know?
Did I say it a lot?
No, but I know you. I know you well enough to know.
I'm very excited for the sequel. They seem to be
Godzilla
setting
plus
up.
one?
Godzilla tie.
Godzilla 0.
0-0.
Godzilla back to zero.
I just want more. I just want a supercut of like the 30 minutes with Godzilla in it. I mean, just
But I'm hoping with them setting it up, there will be more of that. Because I think you get the most Godzilla action when he has another another kaiju to fight.
yeah.
And I hope that comes with the next
I
one.
wonder if he's gonna come around and be friendly because this guy doesn't seem to have any friendliness in him at all.
He's the biggest
bends on
asshole that
destruction.
we've seen so far.
He doesn't really. I guess it's all. Yeah, they kind of to talk about it with Apex Predator and like he's trying to secure his territory and that's how they. There's some actually very ingenious scientific methods of destroying Godzilla.
The plan
which
at the end
really
I thought was
appreciate.
very
Yeah.
innovative and realistic.
I don't know if they needed the second part. Why not just leave him where they got him? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
yeah.
I think just in case is a
But yeah, I was excited to see how that played out. I wanted to see how ghastly it was. It was pretty ghastly.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was
I like this
gruesome. They
movie.
go for it.
Maybe I like this movie more than I realized.
Sounds
good.
like it.
I think I would have liked it a whole lot more if it was like 140, 150. There was a lot of like, please care about these character scenes.
I think you needed one fewer character scene and one more big Godzilla battle.
Yeah. A lot like Napoleon, like if you had a couple schematics, they might do a nice overlay there as far as, going back and forth with human interest and the big battle sequence.
This was very close to being a 4.5, 5-star movie for me. If they had added one more like battle and had a little bit more tightening up with the stuff they telegraphed, this could have been 4.5, 5 stars.
I could have
It's
used
very, very close.
a shot of him from underneath seeing his legs do the thing that like water polo players do in the egg beater, because that's what he must have been doing.
Oh,
'Cause
treading water?
I thought that he was like standing on the ocean floor because he's that big, but then you realize later that no, he couldn't have been standing on the ocean floor because he
he's-
looked just like
yeah.
he was. So then I was distracted by that, and that bothered me, and I spent too much time thinking about that when I should
That
have
is
just been watching
very
it.
minute.
I
It's
had,
not.
I had a little bit of that too.
Yeah, did you? Like
Yeah.
this doesn't make sense on the physical. What was it?
The physics of things.
Physics of thank you physics
Yeah.
physical.
the physicality of it. It's a lot of fun. High on the fun scale.
See it in a big theater. See it
Yeah.
with the best sound you can get. And,
I saw this in Dolby, and somehow the Beyonce concert next door was louder, was bleeding in.
They pump those concerts so loud.
It was crazy, and that's saying something that she was louder than Godzilla.
Yeah.
See it in prime. Like I was scared of him when he was like just going after the boat, and
Oh, yeah.
the little wooden boat was like trucking it.
Because
and
you're
he
thinking,
was
there's
just
no way
coming,
they're fucked.
and he kept opening his mouth, and it's like this fucking guy. He's just writing so menacing.
Yeah,
So
Right.
menacing.
And you go, there's no way they killed this thing. There's no way.
But they come up with a plan, Brian. Good plan.
I'm excited.
Very fun.
All right.
And I would also recommend. Yeah,
Thank you
if
for seeing that, Avery, and for helping the program and not hurting the program like Brian does.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of usually my move, so thank you.
I think this is better than Shin Godzilla, but if you like this one, definitely check out Shin Godzilla. There's, I think, maybe a little more destruction that you're hoping for, but there is. They replace the family story with the Japanese discussing kind of their government and bureaucracy and how it's completely non-functional. And it's almost like the government trying to address the Godzilla problem, whereas this is the civilians addressing the Godzilla problem.
Okay, so it's a nice companion.
Yeah, and I think that's also very much a throwback where it feels like that one is shot more in the style of miniatures, the way that one's done. I think you'll really like it.
All right, Shin Godzilla's been on the list for way too long. And I knew to just do that. Okay, let's.
If I can see Thunder Road, you can see Shin Godzilla.
Here's the very first Godzilla. Look at that poster for 1954. Like, who could not want to go see this movie?
I had that in my childhood bedroom.
That exact poster?
That poster.
With the Japanese characters on it and everything.
Uh-huh.
Japanese writing. Yeah.
Gojira. They call him Gojira, Brian.
Gojira. I'm familiar.
Gojira.
All right, let's go.
Thank you for reinforcing
This
that.
doesn't look bad.
We're going to take a break?
Yeah, let's take a quick break and come back with our top 5 better as holiday films.
It's only 2 movies. Is that all right?
Yeah, we did 2 big sexy movies, though, and talked a lot about them, Brian.
That is true. All right, coming up next, top 5 films that would be better if they were holiday movies.
It's fucking right. Who are you to judge? Just go. You guys do whatever you want.
Welcome back. Time to count down some movies that we feel like it'd be better if they were holiday films.
Yeah.
Inspired choice.
Emily Hood came up with this one, and we both gravitated towards it as soon as we saw her suggest it when we were doing the live watch-along. We, of course, do this. We try to do this annually for the Better as Horror Films, which a big hit, Brian. People like that. I always put a lot of effort into that one. You put some effort into it as well.
The more so, better with Bean. But this was this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was good. Maybe, who knows? Maybe this will become a staple of the Film Vault moving forward. You know what bothered me today when it occurred to me that we have not gotten the kids back on, and we were hoping to do that as an annual thing. Once a year, we have Tessa and Atticus on. I think it's been well over a year. So that sucks. That's something we're going to do in the new year. I would like to have them on once a year so you can hear them change their picks and change. That would
Change
just
their
for us.
places.
It's selfish, but
You can you can show Tessa Saltburn. She might add that.
You think so?
you'll know you're making it as a father if you ever get to a point where you and like a of age Tessa are watching that and discussing it on like
really. That's how you know I made it as a father.
Yeah. That's the
That's the
bar.
bar.
Yeah, that's the bar. That's the watermark.
I got to be honest. Are you ready for this?
Uh-huh.
I'm a little pleased with myself. I'm in the top 5.
Oh, good.
A little pleased with myself.
I'm excited to hear because I'm not super excited for mine. Well, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't undersell it. Like I feel like I could do better.
I had some fun.
Skip the episode.
I had some fun with the titles.
Oh, you changed the titles too. Look at you. All right. Okay.
This makes up for Saltburn.
Okay. Maybe I'll try and change my titles on the fly. Because I have not changed. I changed one title. Okay. Here we go.
Oh, this is
Let's
so
get
dumb.
right into it because we're not gonna spend a shit ton of time. I don't think.
Can I go last?
Sure. Yeah. All right. My number 5. Get right into it. Yeah. Anything
Let's
going
do
on?
it.
Reservoir Dogs. Good movie.
Reservoir Reindeer.
Is this how this is going to go? I mean, if that's a
I'm
sampling, could be Reindeer Dogs, which probably has a better ring.
Santa dogs.
I'm trying to help you, buddy. Oh, there's already Santa Pups or something.
Reservoir Dogs at the North Pole. Right.
Yeah, needs work.
I'm trying to make them bad. Reindeer Dogs is better sounding, all right?
Reservoir Elves.
Reservoir Dogs. We know it's a big heist. It's all planned.
Sure.
They're all in a tight-knit group. Imagine if it was Christmas Eve and it just
Yes.
landed. And it's because the people who are in charge of these heists, they don't think about the fucking holidays. They don't give a shit, right? Maybe they do because they're Catholic.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were saying like, they're using it to their advantage.
But yeah, they're not, or perhaps that I did think that,
But
like
they're not,
maybe
they're
like,
not, it's not sacrosanct.
it is the B team usually on as far as like cops and whatnot during the holidays, right? Like with any
Yes, the
job, it's like,
rookies.
yeah, if you, listen to radio or watch TV like on the, like around the holidays, like it's the B team, C team in there, especially Christmas Eve, Christmas Day.
Felons.
A lot of fuck ups. A lot of like people are stumbling their lines. There's audio issues everywhere.
felons.
Yeah, a lot of understudies. So maybe that's what they're thinking with the cops. And that's I've had that thought a few times on New Year's Eve back yesteryear when I used to go out and party it up on New Year's Eve, and I remember leading a few groups of people saying, "Hey, we can do whatever the fuck we want," because all the cops on duty tonight are rookies and they don't know what they're doing. I don't know if that was good advice.
I'll say, is that backwards thinking? Because maybe the veteran cops like working the holidays because they get double time or whatever it is.
They don't need it. They've built up their pension. They got families now. They don't want to deal with the idiots like me out there on New Year's 10, 15 years ago. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is it's very simple. If Reservoir Dogs, it was fun. It was a lot of really strong, fun characters. Imagine if it was Christmas Eve or Christmas Day even, and they're constantly on the phone dealing with like their wives and their families going, yeah, honey, and making up excuses as to why they're out. Like, I have to get Johnny.
Yeah, flat tire.
Yeah, or like I'm trying to get this gift. They said they were out at Macy's, but I'm over here at
got
Robinson's
a flat
May
tire
now.
out of the fucking blue.
I'm fucking buying
Yeah.
here. I'm fucking buying.
I like the idea of all these characters trying to settle up with their wives and come up with excuses as to why they're still out, Christmas related, right? And all the motifs and everything, you know, Christmas, yeah, Reservoir, reindeer dogs, as we say.
Mine are all, let's see, 1, 2. Mine are all below average.
Movies?
Some are outright bad. Because I want to see these movies.
Mine
good.
are all great. Mine are all great.
Oh,
movies.
really?
Yeah.
We're very different. No cross.
I know. I kind of played with the better as because these aren't better as. But I'll stick to Reservoir Dogs being a little bit better if there was some kind of Christmas angle. I'll stick with that. Why not? Doesn't Christmas make everything better?
Number 5 for me. A bad movie. Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. Should be retitled Venom 2, Let There Be Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
A man in San Francisco is living with a dual personality. But that personality inside of him, Santa Claus. He is possessed by Santa Claus. He doesn't like it.
Isn't this Santa with Tim Allen?
Oh, the Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus. I think he becomes unwittingly the Santa.
He kills Santa.
this
Yeah.
Santa
man-
Claus. He runs him over, and then, as the tradition goes,
Yeah.
as far as
Jarring.
the Santa Claus. I just had to sign a permission slip for Atticus to watch Santa Claus on Friday, the last day before.
Now, Santa does get killed on screen.
Just to let you know, Johnny, Santa's going to die.
Johnny.
He does. He runs them over in the fucking movie. I did not
No,
see
he
that
falls
coming.
out the roof.
Does he? I thought he ran him over.
No, he falls off the roof, but he scares him, and Santa just falls off the roof and breaks his back
And
and,
then
dies.
Tim
Straight
Allen
to the neck.
becomes Santa. Like the next
Yeah.
morning,
Yeah.
he starts waking up with the. Okay, so you're
In this
possession.
Guilty
version,
pleasure.
Which movie? Is it?
Whereas Venom would, want to eat somebody or let me eat that person. All Santa wants to do is give out toys.
Where's the conflict? I don't know.
There's no conflict.
Okay. You got to come up with conflict, Brian. All right, so he becomes like a giver.
That's right.
That's the story.
Maybe
He's going to be
Tom Hardy is-
Scrooge-like.
Tom Hardy's a bad guy, and Santa's trying to win him over. Like the spirit of Santa. And it's a reversal. He's not meek like he is in the movie.
Huh.
He's the bad guy. And like Santa's trying to get him to go the right way.
It's like the opposite of Phineas Gage, where like he was a bad guy and then he became a good guy. Whereas Phineas Gage was just a simple, nice man, and then he had this spike go through his head, and he became
yes.
he started cussing. He had never cussed before. He started swearing. He started stealing. It's like, what the fuck? Like, he got brain damage and made him a totally different person. All right, Phineas Gage. Number 4 for me. I'm cheating a little bit because it's Jurassic Park. I don't know. Like, I don't even know what number they're up to. Like Jurassic Park 9, we'll say. One of the Jurassic Parks that came out recently. Except here's the storyline. They're hurting for attendance. It's still a park. You can still charge admission. They're hurting for attendance.
Finally, the public has caught on. Many people die at this park.
That also, they've had it under control for a few years. There haven't been any major outbreaks, and people were coming back. But then they're like, it's fucking dinosaurs. I mean, I've seen them. It's like, no, let's just go to the
It's
zoo.
like going to a safari park.
Yeah. So they spruce it up with a Santa a Christmas theme.
Oh,
once
really?
again. Yeah.
So
and-
not the Indominus Rex, but it's Santa.
well, they have him. He's dressed as they got the hat on him and whatnot, and they have like reindeers run. But instead of reindeers, they got the
raptors.
Velociraptors, or they're taking some side. It's just a Christmas themed Jurassic Park.
That's
where they,
great.
But then, of course,
All hell breaks loose.
they breach, and little Johnny, who loved Santa and Christmas and all the themes that come with it,
He's marooned.
he's forever ruined. Yeah, and he's not a because he will associate Christmas with bloodlust forever.
Yeah.
Christmas fan no longer.
No longer a Christmas fan.
I like
He
the,
associates it with fangs.
The Newman dressed as a Santa in this one.
Newman could make some kind of, because he doesn't make it through the first one, but he comes back as they have his corpse. No, that's a little bit too dark.
Work on that.
Maybe all of the yes.
Yeah.
Supernatural comes in. All of the deceased, all the people that have died at this park are now elves.
Oh my God.
They're all elves, zombified elves.
Wow, I was gonna say we never actually see Newman die. It's implied.
Oh yeah, I mean we see the POV.
You see him blinded and there's a car shaking.
Yeah, we see the dinosaurs POV. Yeah.
Unless they're making
hear the
love.
screaming.
I think they're killing.
Yeah, unless they're trying to like make a crossbreed. Numasaur.
It is shot like an 80s teen comedy where they'd be having sex, but that's not what's happening.
Could be.
If this Jeep is rocking, Newman says no knocking.
I never thought of it. It really is like they could be banging in there.
Yeah, the dinosaur could be simply exerting his dominance.
Sure. It's possible. It's got the can of shaving cream.
Oh, what was the song that he was singing in Seinfeld when he was the really roomy double lanes that Kramer had made when he adopted that stretch of highway, and then the series of events led to him bursting in flames. I sing that song all the time, but I'm drawing a blank on what the song was. Do you remember what I'm talking about in Seinfeld?
Shamefully, I'm not a huge I like Seinfeld, but I have not seen a ton of them.
A series of events, almost like Mousetrap, occurs where Kramer adopts a highway, but he takes it literally. So he's out there cleaning the trash himself, and then he decides that stretch of highway should have double wide lanes because it'd be nice. So he paints over the white hash marks so that now there's only 2 lanes rather than 4, and there's a shot of Elaine. She's like, you know what? Who's been giving shit to Kramer the entire episode. Like, what are you doing? But then she's like totally swerving in her own lane, going, "Ooh, it's roomy. I like it." And then we see Newman in his mail truck driving. Before that, though, Kramer had fucked up, and he had some turpentine because he was trying to like clean some of the paint that he'd fucked up. So he spills it all over the highway, and then I forget how the Singer old-fashioned sewing machine was also littered in the middle of the. So Newman's just driving "Strangers in the Night." What the fuck song was it?
Was it Stranger Than the Night?
It wasn't. It was something like that, and I find myself singing it all the time. And then so that
Dirty Old
hooks,
Town.
he doesn't realize that hooks underneath his mail truck. Now sparks are flying, but he's unaware, and he's just swerving. He's really enjoying it. It's not moving. He's enjoying his big fat lanes, and he's just singing to his heart's content, back and forth, swerving. And then he comes. I know how this. For
example.
And then he comes across the turpentine in flames, and he starts screaming. God damn it! What was that song? Okay, sorry.
Look up the scene.
Sorry for that diatribe.
Worth it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're number 4 for you.
Noah. Sorry, just like you guys. Second podcast today. It's no alternate title for this, but I think we can both agree that Annette would be better as a holiday film.
I know.
What?
I know.
Annette, 2021 film.
I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
I'm not. As a teacher would say, I'm not going to compete with that.
Okay. No. Your teacher would say, look at her enjoying the double
She
wide
is
lane.
enjoying
That's
it.
how the singer, I remember it was a singer. Here comes a paint thinner that's coming out. This must be just torture for everyone listening. Oh, we got to hear. Can you? There it is. Twice.
3 times a lady.
Oh, he was the wiser. He did realize that he hit something, and then here he comes. Okay, and then here comes the flames. He's still singing. This is all Avery's fault for bringing up Newman in the original Jurassic Park. Okay.
You see what you've done.
Do you know what I'll be singing all the way home?
3 times a lady.
No, probably
Moon
Moon River.
River.
Dirty Old Town.
I'll be listening to Dirty Old Town.
Annette would be a better film as a holiday film instead of
Marionettes?
We Love Christmas so much.
Avery wasn't around for that
Was that before his era?
that year.
Yeah, I know the episodes.
You're
though,
aware
but I
of
was
it, though.
not. Yeah,
it
yeah.
was brutal.
We
That
love
year
the
where everyone was
holiday.
loving that Annette. Bruce Perky, you hear me. You love that movie. What's wrong with you?
So instead of like
Sounded
Have you seen it or
ungood.
not?
No, it sounded ungood based on your description.
instead of the angsty relationship drama between Adam Driver and Marion Cotillard, instead they're just carolers.
All right, so where's the conflict?
There's no.
Brian's been watching a lot of, but Lifetime movies have a lot of conflict. I was going to
That's
say
true.
Lifetime,
It's
but
nothing but
First of all,
conflict.
yeah,
Hallmark.
Caddy.
Lifetime's
Hallmark.
trash.
Hallmark.
Okay, Brian. So, yeah. Did you say you were proud of your...
So far, so good.
Number 3 for me
2 for 2.
is a movie that is mistakenly called a Christmas movie time and time again, and that is
Really?
Die Hard.
Really?
And Die Hard has some Christmas elements, and next week you'll hear us arguing about this.
Some Christmas
coincidentally,
elements.
some Christmas element. Yeah, the inciting incident takes place
I would argue.
at a Christmas party, but
as-
there's, as you wrongfully said, what else would ever cause them
Well,
to
no-
come to a building that is empty altogether as a company? There's plenty of ways,
there's
reasons.
none.
Yeah,
Nope.
100%.
Well,
The CEO's having a big
kind of-
birthday bash
yeah,
after hours.
And the building of empty?
Yeah, yeah, after hours. Did you hear the after hours part?
No. No one of us. What is your Avery? Someone's had an office job. Anderson, sit with now.
It felt like a slight somehow.
I've had office
I've been
jobs.
there with
did
you,
not,
Avery.
did not like them, but I've
Is
had
there
them.
any excuse to be in the office with all your coworkers at, say, 8 or 9 p.m. other than holiday?
You know what I almost did just now? I almost said holiday party. I almost fucking did that because that's how dumb I am. I caught myself. I didn't say it.
You also screwed yourself a little bit in your previous pick
I didn't
by
understand
saying
any of the
you
last
screwed
syllables.
yourself a little
Okay.
in your previous pick by pointing out what a great strategy it would be for robbers or a heist crew to target a holiday for a heist because the B team of the cops.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
That's exactly what they're doing here.
Well, there's a problem with that too because if you think about it a little bit further, who's more trigger happy? Who's more afraid of all criminals? Who thinks everyone's a criminal? The new cops.
No, that's not fair because
Yeah, it's like the young rattlesnake. You don't want to fuck with it because they don't know when to let go.
that would be great if that was part of the plot. Unfortunately, it's
Should
out
be.
of
Well,
time.
the part of my plot is this: Hans Gruber is not after money. Oh no.
He's after Christmas.
He's hell bent on
Christmas
exposing
itself.
Christmas itself. Not only Christmas, but the organized religion that
All right,
surrounds it,
all right.
because he is so ashamed of what has become of his great country of Germany
the
as a
holiday
result
industrial complex.
as a result of dogmatic worship
Oh,
of Christianity.
Because he's German and Chris Kringle.
Yes.
Oh.
So he's trying to eradicate the world
Yes.
of Christmas as a slight to Christianity as a whole, because he feels like that was the downfall of his country because of the Holocaust and the atrocities that occurred.
Oh, that's
so he's trying to clean the slate. You see, Hans Gruber's. He doesn't know that not the retired cop, but the retired cop is dressed as Santa.
It's an off-duty cop.
Off duty. He's not only off duty, but he was supposed to be Santa. We have scenes of him like comically trying to get into a Santa suit. He was going to be the surprise Santa, and then he's in the air ducts with the Santa suit on. So it's Chris Kringle himself, or a version of that, played by Bruce Willis, fighting Hans Gruber. So it's
That's not bad. So
That's-
finally we can call it Die Hard.
and then we could call it a fucking Christmas movie,
And this
right?
is in a mall?
No, we'll
it's
still
in
go with
Market
the.
Plaza.
We'll go with the Plaza.
That's right.
No, you know what? We could do
I
mall.
know.
We could do mall. Yeah, maybe we do
No.
Black Friday. He
No,
takes
no.
all the Black
This
Friday
is like
people.
Mattel's headquarters, or
Okay.
like a Mattel type.
No, I'm thinking consumerism, right?
What's more consumers than Mattel?
No, that's a factory. That's headquarters.
No,
Like they're
that-
pumping shit out. I'm talking about the consumers themselves are being held
I'm
hostage.
saying headquarters is in like where the marketing is, where the PR is.
You're not invited to my writer's room. Sorry. I'm not liking what you're saying. I don't think it's adding to the story, and it's lacking conflict, and I need you to
Bruce
not...
Willis doesn't feel comfortable with you?
We're supposed to know where he is.
Bruce doesn't like to be the second bald man in charge.
That's true. You know, I feel inferior.
see that?
already.
That's true. You see, we're right back to the table. That is
Yeah,
true. He would be
I'm-
second in charge,
I-
especially
I'm
nowadays.
with you. He'd be lucky to be second in charge.
We take a break here.
No, number 3 first.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, yeah, I did Jurassic Park.
I just
or
did
not?
Die Hard, yeah.
All right. Number 3 for me. No alternate title here, but guys, we all live in LA. We drive around, see a lot of lights, a lot of displays, a lot of holiday decorations. You see houses that have the blue lights, and what does that signify to you?
This feels like a trick question.
Islamabad.
Do you, I don't understand the two
Jewish.
funny answers.
Jewish
Kwanzaa.
people live
They're
there.
celebrating Hanukkah.
Yes.
So let's take a movie that was aimed at a certain group called Blue Beetle. Now, It's the
Brian,
first
this is unfair. You've not seen
Hasidic
Blue
Jewish
Beetle.
superhero.
Okay.
Yeah, not bad.
He's thinking about
Where are you
Hollywood
going now?
agent by day, superhero by night.
See, you're going hacky.
Well,
there.
I'm trying to
a
make
little
it fun.
hacky. Yeah.
I'm doing accountant by
Hollywood.
day.
I mean, couldn't he be like a butcher or something?
I'm guessing this all stems from his yarmulke. The
Yes, he's
yarmulke is the.
Oh, that's like a
He
shield.
takes it
Yeah.
off and he throws it, flings it at
I
itself.
feel like this exists somehow, somewhere.
Imagine, yeah, because he has the little thing on his back, right? His blue beetle, and this would
Yeah,
be his
yeah, of
little
course.
the
His
yarmulke.
scarab.
The yarmulke would be the scarab.
And his payos.
It
little
crawls
curls.
up and down.
Yeah, the payos is where he hides like his darts.
What about Teflon? Is Teflon coming to play?
What's that?
The Teflon,
I don't know what that is.
the arm wrap.
the arm wrap. It looks like this.
Oh.
Many a Jewish person has come up to me. I'm gonna say many a Jew, which would have been fine, but to those untrained ears might think that I'm being insensitive, so I changed it
That's
to a
fair.
Jewish
You know
person.
what? That's fair.
Sounds like a hard J there. Remember that? Remember that It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Oh, you cannot say that. That's a hard J. But yeah, many a Jew have come up to me and asked me if that was Teflon on my arm.
Oh, really?
And I say, no, it's film.
And they're like, what's film? I'm not allowed to.
So
We live in L.A. and they're Jewish people, so they probably work in the
That's
business.
right. You know, see, you're right back to the.
I know.
joke.
There we go with the Hackney stuff. Got to be careful though, especially
Avery
right
sent
now.
us an out. It was crazy, right?
Especially right now, it's sensitive,
that's
more
a really
sensitive.
good point.
It's always sensitive. It's a little more sensitive right now too. So be careful.
I could have said blue bagel, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
I don't think I ever finished my story, which I started to tell a few months ago when Blue Beetle was out and we were talking massive shit, and I was taking some gunfire on the old Patreon
Oh,
message
that's
boards.
not a
Careful.
good movie.
People were, I think it was Curtis once again, thanking me for letting he and his people know what they deserve. Is the way he put it. We were going on and on and on about
part
how
was too much.
the Hispanic culture deserves a better superhero, right? Which
Well, you know,
I stand by.
There's that's actually. That's
but I never saw the movie. Maybe it's fucking genius. I don't know.
Oh, you never saw it?
I never saw Blue Beetle.
Oh, it's
you
bad.
did.
It's very bad.
Why would
Oh
you
yeah, no, he opened the grenade. Remember?
not? Oh,
Yeah, I forgot that he does.
Hoping the
Solo.
show, but he's not seen.
No,
Saltburn.
he said it's a shoe in for the Revolties.
It might be.
But I felt so bad, and I started to tell the story, but I never
Oh
got to it.
God.
Like the next week, it might have been. I was at my movie theater parking lot. I just
And you went
finished
to
seeing
see
a
it.
movie, and I saw like 3 teenage kids. One of them was wearing a Blue Beetle backpack, like to make it look
did,
like the
yellow
Scarab or
Scarab,
whatever.
yeah.
And they were talking about the movie as though it was some kind of Shakespearean laid out masterpiece they'd just seen. And I'm like, you know what? Who am I to like? I haven't even seen this fucking thing. If it makes those guys that happy, and they weren't even Hispanic. They were these fucking random white dudes, kids. Like, so when I say
There are a lot who enjoy it.
it makes those guys, it makes a group of people happy. Who the fuck?
That's fair. That's it. I have.
I'm
seen
not.
it. It's aggressively.
I'm sitting there watching Godzilla, going, "I want more lizard, less people." So what is aggressively what?
mediocre.
Yeah, we need less of that.
No, I'd like a Godzilla backpack. Godzilla Minus One backpack.
It's just spikes.
Pretty good.
Like the blue? Are they blue? Are they half blue?
I don't know
He's
why
starting.
I
It's like
haven't seen
halfway.
the film.
He's like halfway.
Oh, they
through.
change in the sun.
Oh, they're iridescent.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Like those car wraps that you see.
You got to get Atticus into Godzilla. You got to show him the old
No,
ones.
but it's like PG-13.
No, not the old ones.
As I'm watching this one, I'm thinking, I want to get him like the toy that I had when I was a kid. I don't know if you
Yeah.
had it, but like where his arm just inexplicably shoots off for no fucking reason.
I had a bunch of
Have you seen
Godzilla
that?
action figures. I don't know if the one
It
you're
was like
talking about, though.
he was like 2 feet high, and he had a little trigger button where like his entire fist would just shoot off, which made no sense because all the Godzillas I
No,
saw,
I hadn't seen
his arm
that.
never flies off.
It's not like Mecha Godzilla. It's not the metal one.
Godzilla.
No, it's just regular green
You can
Godzilla.
you
but
can
his
show
arm-
him the ones with the men in suits for sure.
Yeah, I should do that. I
You
should. Do that
should. They're-
Christmas time.
They're
They'll be
all
down
on
offer.
Max.
I'm gonna hear this though because he's at that age where he's trying to be cool, and I'm just gonna hear. And I'm already hearing this with certain things. Oh, that's so fake, and it just makes my skin crawl when he says it. I'm like, dude, don't be a douche.
Nah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
All right,
All
let's
right.
take a break.
Coming up next, we'll conclude our lists. But first, Amazon after this. Hey, big week on Amazon, Anderson. We got the report from Cyber Monday. It was a, trying to acknowledge our listeners. Be able to
I'm
support
sorry, I'm
them.
just looking at Godzilla's hand.
I've never
flying
seen that
off.
one.
It's so bizarre. This is a toy I had when I was a child. Okay, sorry.
Strange.
Wait, what happened?
It's like a 2 foot high tall Godzilla He looks like Godzilla, and there's a little trigger where you could pull it.
The fist comes
and his
off,
fist
right?
comes flying
I
off.
had that too.
Well, I was just talking about at length with where were you when I was having that conversation?
But it makes
No,
no
you're sitting
sense.
right here. It was maybe 90 seconds
Why
ago.
did Godzilla's fist become projectile?
This is
Doesn't
the
make any sense at all.
conversation we just had.
Where was I?
Where were you?
We got
Why
the
is this one
report.
censored?
We got the report from Cyber Monday. You guys did an awesome job. But really, honestly, thank you very much for tapping the Amazon banner, buying what you're going to buy, and helping us out at no cost to you. Really makes everyone happy. Win-win. We appreciate you. Thanks for supporting the show. Things purchased on the Amazon banner this Cyber Monday and on include 2 Brother Super High Yield Toner Cartridge sets, an Apple Watch Ultra titanium case, refractory assembly with access panel. Oh, with an access panel. There you go. Refractory assembly. Oh, sorry, I wasn't looking at my screen. What is this?
refractor right now.
Aaron Moore Comfort Deluxe Space Heater. And Amazon Fire 50-inch 4K UHD Smart TV. Michelin Defender All-Season Car Tire. God, you really can't get everything on Amazon. How does that show up to your house in a box? Just wheel the tire up. Nanit Pro Baby Monitor. Meta Quest 2 Virtual Reality Headset. Bonet Portable Soccer Goal. XP Pen Drawing Tablet. 2 Aeromoto Portable Tire Inflator. Oh, I actually have something very similar to that. It's a very nice little device. Freestanding stainless steel restaurant kitchen sink set. I'm going to assume this is creamy. Ninja creamy ice cream maker. Aris surfboard cable modem and Wi-Fi router. Wukon storage cabinet. Chef Choice Edge Select knife sharpener. Dell Dock Amazon gift card for with a snowman tin. Shoku luggage set. Crown Shades pop-up canopy. Bose SoundLink Flex Bluetooth speakers. Texas Instruments still making those. TI-84 graphing calculator. Ryobi One Plus wet dry hand vacuum. Rusttown rustic wood storage cabinet. 2 OEF furniture folding chair. Fry women's zip leather wallet. 2 gift cards, one for Starbucks, one for Amazon. Avantry Ensemble wireless headphones. Soundcore by Anchor. Noise canceling headphones. And finally, someone helped themselves, I should say, to YS Eco Base Farm Draw Honey. Wow, really snuck it in there.
You really did, Brian. Hey, the movies that clicked through since the last time I talked at y'all. Somebody clicked through and got Tremors. Then somebody went ahead and got Thunder Road. I don't know if that was Avery. If so, illegal. You're not allowed to click through on your own. If it was a listener, I didn't hear from you, and that worries me. Maybe you weren't taken aback like Avery and myself, and one day Tyler White will be. Thunder fucking Road.
Possibly they ran and haven't watched it yet.
Have you've seen Thunder Road?
Yeah, well,
now he's paranoid about everyone.
It's my new religion. Hairspray was clicked through, as well as Bottoms Fuck to the S with the Bottoms. Fuck to the S with the Holdovers was clicked through, as well as Dumb Money was clicked through. Not so much I fucked with. What We Do in the Shadows was clicked through, as well as Warner Brothers Jesus. Warner Brothers Edge of Tomorrow. Why has it got to be Warner Brothers Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow? I mean, why?
that's a lot. It's a mouthful.
Sequel's coming.
Oh, yeah.
In more words.
Live, Die, Repeat.
Again.
Repeat again.
Yeah. Maybe that's why they saw like the sequel and how clever that title would be if they could do that, perhaps.
Furiosa.
Saw that trailer. That's scratching an itch. Gotta tell you that. Yeah, thank you for sharing that with me, Avery. I immediately watched it.
I sent it because I cannot watch it. I needed somebody else to
really?
see it,
Scratches the itch.
to witness.
And finally, Barbarella, a movie that I shamefully have not seen, was clicked through. 2 movies on this list I have not seen. Barbarella and Tremors. I've seen clips and chunks of Tremors, but
Tremors is really good.
It is. It's fun. Tremors is fun.
Tremors is good it's exactly what it should be, and it's fun.
Yeah, agreed.
Now back to the program.
Confidence. Bryan and Anderson, number 2, film that'd be better as a holiday film.
Yeah, a little involved. It probably takes place in maybe a dystopian future, or maybe that's an alternate reality. But it's The Breakfast Club. It's the only one that I rebranded, which is the Holiday Club. You could call it that. And imagine this: it's a high school that doesn't believe in anyone celebrating anything
Oh,
other
it's a
than
Jehovah's Witness.
Christmas.
Oh, okay.
So, as a punishment to these
Oh,
five
it's also like religious. Okay.
outliers, these kids, and maybe perhaps a teacher as well could be involved, or maybe even Carl, the janitor.
That's right, your buddy.
They're ironically held in school on Christmas Day to almost be reprogrammed, right? Almost like they do with the gay reversion therapy, right?
Sure.
And these 5 students, I believe it was 5, they all represent a different religion. And in the discussion and as the movie unfolds, we hear them discussing their own religions, which they've been embarrassed about, but while they're in this setting, stuck in school together in a room with nothing else going on, they share their traditions, they share their different religious beliefs, and in doing so, it enlightens the audience as to what more is possible, what else is out there, and
then they're burned at the stake.
And then they're all murdered for not converting to Christianity. But of course, you would have like the agnostic would most likely be Bender. And I associated all of them with
Which one's
different
Jewish?
religions. But then I decided not to because I didn't want to. I didn't want to come off as though I was stereotyping. So I stopped. But I got as far as agnostic as Bender. Yes. That's as far as I got.
Claire could be the Jewish character.
She's actually, I had her as a closeted Christian.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She was actually she was undercover. She was actually in there keeping an eye on them. She was their
Ali Sheedy should be like a Satanist.
She would be a Satanist. That's paganism would be a good one for her. Or she's actually what is it where you know all the religions? You know all the religions, and then you.
Are you omni-religious?
Because there's agnostic and there's atheist. And if you're, I always get them backwards. But if you're an atheist, I think it just means like you don't know. No, if you're not, no, that's what it is. If you're agnostic, you don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of people call themselves atheists, but to be a true atheist, you have to have explored all the religions and said, not for me to each one.
Or like you deny the existence, like this is not this.
Like you've tried to find inner peace and truth, and you've explored all the religions, spent I don't know how much time, but you have to actually dive into each religion to call yourself what is the word?
Atheist.
Thank you.
I learned that today.
It's beginning the end. My brain is melting away. Yeah, but that's an agnostic. It just is like you and I, or actually I don't know what you are. But
I'm pretty agnostic.
I don't care.
I
don't want to. Religion and politics often mix some people.
I'm very
lose their
humble
perspective
in this respect. I'm very humble.
Give way to
I
ranting
don't
and
feel
raving and
any
carrying on like
human
emotional
being could
children.
know possibly with the mysteries of the universe.
I'd like to see a father pod of listener art with Bryan for Love Is One.
With the long hair.
And he's father pod.
That's right.
And he's doing podcasty things.
Noble.
He's with a blue mummy.
He's went with an avatar.
Hey, that's his co-host.
That's his transformer son. I'd like to see it, Father Pod.
I think,
I don't like that.
I think Molly Ringwald would probably be a Buddhist, perhaps.
You're right. Number
We'll leave it
two
there.
for me, a film I don't believe you have seen, and I bring it up as truly one of the worst films I've ever seen. And I would like to. The only problem is I don't know how much this improves it, but at least makes it more enjoyable. I'm talking about The Birthday Cake, movie I did not like from 2021. I would like to rebrand it.
It's called The Birthday Cake?
It's called The Birthday Cake.
Movie that shouldn't have been made.
I would like to rebrand that as The Fruit Cake. So instead of birthday cake, a gangster bent on revenge sends a poisoned fruit cake to be delivered to his enemies on Christmas Day. Yeah. Christmas Eve.
There's some conflict there. I
There
see
is.
the conflict
There is.
within the fruit.
I don't know that it makes the film any better, but like I said, more enjoyable.
Then the children eat it, and he has heart, and he realizes that's a problem. He goes in there to administer the 2 fingers on the throat, and it disrupts their Christmas.
You ever been poisoned?
The fingers for pudding.
Yeah, fingers for pudding. She enjoys her fingers. How do they word that?
Fingers for pudding.
It was just fingers for pudding.
Yeah.
Doing a little Saltburn talk there, baby.
I'm excited to see it.
All right, Mulligan. Number 1 for me. Doesn't need a whole lot of explaining. It's right there. It's simple. It's Toy Story.
Oh, that's my number 1.
Is it?
No.
And it's it's not the original Toy Story because how do you make it better? Perhaps it is, but they're going to run out of storylines.
Well, here's be Toy Story 5.
Let's go with Toy Story 5. And Woody and Buzz have teamed up obviously over the years, and they realize there's a new toy on the market, and somehow they're privy to the fact that this new toy is no good. It probably has something to do, ties into like technology and how it
VR,
makes kids not good kids or less empathetic or something, right? And they know that this is a nefarious toy.
Or Furby, he's listening.
Yes.
Or like a Grand Theft Auto situation.
However, they know that Santa can't help himself because Andy or whoever the new kid is has been so good that Bonnie, it's on Santa's list. So Santa's now the enemy. So the whole movie revolves around Woody and Buzz and the rest of the toys preparing to defeat Santa, or at least prevent him from delivering the toy. But they have a plan B, which is to take Santa out if they have to. And now it's Christmas themed.
They don't want to, but they will.
I could
It's
see
like a
this
Home Alone.
being like a 8-minute holiday short.
I thought you were going to say a 5-star movie.
I'm not Brian over here.
I envision this as a perfect film.
Because they come out with, I think they actually had a holiday Toy Story just a few years ago. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure one popped up.
Like a short or something?
Yeah.
Maybe.
But Santa is the enemy in this one. He is he must be stopped.
Bold gambit.
And Woody of course he's the hero.
Really testing the loyalties of these kids.
The
Santa
protagonist.
Toy Story.
Yeah. A lot of conflicts.
Seriously, internal conflict.
Santagonist.
Santagonist.
Every does do that.
That's my number 1.
Number 1 for me. Every the fun for you. The Fast and Furious franchise.
I'm in.
Has gotten a little stale.
Have you seen the last one?
I did. Fast X. Fast Xmas. Not bad.
It's right there.
I'm
It's
in.
right there. It was in.
Fast X Moss.
What?
Right? Like more.
Oh, it would have the little
Like, that could be the next one.
X-Moss.
With a tilde or whatever, an accent mark over the A.
Yeah, the little accent
Not
mark.
bad.
Because that could be the next one. Could be called 5 Fast X
You're
Moss.
right. You know what it's all about? Familia.
No.
No.
They're finally getting about family
not
and
yet.
getting beyond friends.
They've been everywhere, right?
I'm in the family zone. That's what rednecks say down south.
What was that?
Like when they're trying to bang their sister. They're like, oh, fuck, she won't. I'm in the family zone instead of the friend zone. Okay, I'm sorry.
She family's on me.
Fuck, see, I'm influenced myself because I listened to the episode from 12 years ago and my 12-year ago self is influencing my inappropriate.
Get him out.
That's not funny. 12 years from now, I'll be listening to this episode for a classic episode. I'll be like, why the fuck did you do that joke? Incest joke around Christmas time. What's wrong with you?
So the crew, they've been everywhere. They've been to Dubai, space. I mean, there's no frontier left except the North Pole.
What about the center of the Earth? They haven't been down there yet. Okay, North Pole's good.
That's after this when they have to fight Satan.
That's right. A terrorist ring. They're hell bent on ruining Christmas, and no one crew to stop them.
I could see this actually flying with this audience.
Oh, they'll be flying.
Yeah. They'll be flying, yeah.
They'll be
But
flying.
we must save Christmas.
Sleds.
They have to make a sleigh.
Sleighs.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Oh, and
This
what are the reindeer?
Christmas.
The reindeer are all muscle cars?
Motorcycles.
Motorcycles. All right.
And they're pulling a Hummer.
Fast Xmas.
A red Hummer, of course.
It slays.
Oh, it slays. I get
Not
it.
bad.
How do you spell that, though?
Obviously.
With the, okay.
SLAY.
They're drinking milk and cookies instead of Corona.
I was thinking you go more with the traditional, like,
Oh, really?
the actual sleigh. Yeah, to keep it friendly,
It
family friendly.
slays,
Yeah. Because it does slay. And
Oh, I'm kind of into it.
not terrible.
Fast Xmas.
Wait a
X-Moss.
minute.
X-Moss is
Oh. Nah, it's a little too silly.
Say it.
What's his name? What's Buff?
Vin Diesel?
Adam Sandler look? Yeah. He looks like Buff Adam Sandler. He has to play Rudolph at some point.
Okay.
I don't know how he makes his nose red. I could see him just bashing himself in the face like Andrew WK style
No, I
with
feel
a
like
brick or something.
I feel like that's John Cena or the Rock is doing
I
that.
just saw a very clear vision of John Cena with his arms to his side, flying through the air
With the reindeer
somehow.
nose. Yeah.
And it's so CGI. It's like really cheesy,
Yeah.
bad CGI. I hate everything about it.
And the Rock can like rip Santa, tearing
yeah.
through his robe or his coat.
You seen the trailer for that new John Cena movie where like she's writing the actual?
Oh,
yeah.
Christ! Will it end?
I didn't think of it as John Cena movie, but yeah.
Yeah, it is.
One
It's
Love.
the-
Bryce Dallas.
It's
Yeah.
the one
The
with
Argyle.
Sam Rockwell, yes.
Yeah, Argyle.
Oh yeah, it's from the twisted mind of Matthew
Yeah,
Vaughn.
a lot of it was twisted.
You know what sucks is when I was I had high hopes back in film school, and I had a little DVD with like all my shorts that were pretty fucking twisted and fucked up from film school. I actually put that on the DVD. My buddy Mickey actually came up with that, but it says from the twisted mind of Anderson Count. And then here we go with Matthew Vaughn calling himself twisted because he did the Kingsman.
That's not.
You're not twisted there, Matthew Vaughn.
Pretty mainstream.
I mean, there is the anal sex talk, which I found shocking.
That's gratuitous.
It was perhaps. If you do this for me, I'll let you fuck me in the ass. Like I was not prepared for that. For that.
Oh,
Do
man,
you remember that line?
Yeah.
A man gets sliced in half.
Do not get that drop. Do not-
A man gets vertically sliced in half.
Yeah, because the Kingsman, when it was marketed, it looked so like Spy Kids for teenagers, right?
Yeah, it was. It looked silly.
And then I went to see it in the theaters, and it was like hard R, and I was like pleasantly surprised with like the if you do this for me, I'll let you fuck me in the ass. Because in the trailer,
I didn't.
it
I
said if
didn't
you do
need
this
that.
for me, I'll let you
Do it in the
I'll let you
asshole.
kiss me or something. No, they didn't clean it up. by
I
saying-
won't give you so much sass.
Oh, I think it really was
No,
doing
the
me.
version, yeah, the original version was.
All right, once again, I'm bringing the show to new lows. I apologize. Okay.
One Love is catching on that trailer.
Oh my god.
People are starting to turn
Are they turning on
all
it?
over Reddit. Yeah.
Really, people are not
just
liking it?
cannot stand it. I've gone so far to the other end that I love it now. I hate it. It's so bad.
One Destiny.
One destiny.
people.
My life is for people. I love it so much. It's like,
I know what you're
it's the
saying.
best.
I'm getting a taste right now. I'm feeling it.
It's all me and my roommates do.
I kind of want to watch the trailer right
One
now.
journey, one destination. It's so good.
Fire it up. Fire it up. One on One Destiny.
Bob, you're going to go back after they tried to kill you and do a concert? My life is for people.
The long pregnant pause, and he looks at him. He gives him the darts the look.
It's so
I can't wait to not see it. I'm not going to see it. I can't. I won't. I might have to.
I'm really hoping it's streaming on 420 and I'm just going to really douche out.
All right, let's get out of here.
Fire up the trailer.
We're not doing that.
One Destiny.
One destiny.
Let's go.
Whatever you do, do not fire up the trailer.
Kind of need to hear the
Listener, I'll work on it.
Whatever you do not play it.
Oh, I just need my life is with people. Listener list. There's actually some very good ones. Obviously, Die Hard was the number one answer.
That's hurtful.
Interestingly enough, Justin McCafferty, this is probably my favorite. Saltburn and the bathtub is filled with eggnog. Very, very well done. Peter Beta, 7. He gets a present at the end, so the only thing that changes is that it's a gift wrapped.
That's the only thing. It's got a bow on the box.
Yes.
What's in the bow box?
I have no idea how to pronounce this person's name on Reddit. It's like 3I, 3E, 3Isheen. I don't know. Indiana Jones and the Reindeer of Destiny. Indy helps Santa locate a missing reindeer that is needed guided Santa's sleigh.
That's not bad.
Spoilers, it's Rudolph. And lastly, from Mitch, the menu 2, Christmas dinner. A wealthy group of socialites and foodies pay big money to fly to the North Pole for one of the best and expensive dinner experiences hosted by Mrs. Claus and the elves. Mrs. Claus had it with being the one that cooks and cleans. A mystery meal called Reinskov, sauteed reindeer, is served.
Is that really what it's called?
I don't know. Santa missing until here he turns up in an angel outfit outside the window. One young lady,
Angel
played by
Death.
Elizabeth Olsen, has no Christmas spirit, unlike the rest of the patrons, and it might just save her life.
Jesus Christ.
Menu 2, Christmas dinner.
That's really fun.
Mitch Burns.
That's good.
Well done, Mitch. All right, pump that. I swear he's about to be shot.
It's so good. I love this trailer. Based on a true story.
Here it goes. This is the look. The look.
Wait.
It's. You know, they think this is so powerful.
Oh,
Oh, here it comes.
it's so bad. And what do we... Destiny.
I gotta hear One Destiny.
I might love this movie.
It might be my film of the year.
Doesn't it come out in January?
Oh, this is the extended version.
It's the one I see in the trailer in the theater.
Oh, there's way more talking than the one I've seen
Yeah,
at
what am I
AMC.
supposed to think right now?
We're just enjoying the music, Brian. Is he up for
He's-
Best Actor?
I think he's a shoo-in. What are the Oscar odds for him right now, do you think?
I think about next year, though.
It's for next year.
Oh, for
What
next
are the
year.
early Oscar odds?
And ended on a positive, like upbeat.
One out of one low, one day's
Oh, you know what I hate the most is the echo at the end. I fucking hate it so much. And like I'm always in the dark theater, and it's all like, and then it goes super black, like super dark, and it's like, oh, that was supposed to be so powerful with the echo with reverb. Missed
I might
the
love it.
mark. Missed.
Oh, I might love it.
Hey, one love.
I'm hoping I love it because I don't know much about Bob.
My life is for people.
I dated a girl. She was a white girl, probably 8th grade or so. I really liked her. Her name was Kim. Big Bob Marley, and she's just a reggae fan.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to her on a Friday like you do when you're a kid. Came back on Monday. Kim was there. She had cornrows.
Sure.
I could no longer be with her. First of all, it did not look good. I mean, honestly, if I'm being honest, like if she was kicking ass with the cornrows and she looked hot, I think I wouldn't have had as much of a problem. But it was like, first of all, it just
not a
felt
Bo
wrong.
Derek
Plus, she
situation.
did
Yeah.
not look.
A poor choice.
I don't know if any white person could pull off the cornrows. It just did not look right.
Jared Leto.
No.
Thank you.
No one can.
Raul.
All right, let's get out of here.
What's it about, Bob? Bees.
All right, let's wrap up our gambling and get out of here.
Oh, he's trying so hard. All right, last week we gambled on. Fuck, I need to see that movie. May, December. I'm going to try to see a screening, an early screening. Can we go to an early screening of One Love?
What if he's there?
I would love that.
Can you imagine?
I want to smoke a joint with Tyler and see One Love at an early screening. Gambling for last week, May, December. Gambled on May, December. Anderson gets 93, Bryan 87. It's 216 reviews. Actual Rotten Tomatoes score is 92.
Ooh, look at you.
Making
Look at
Anderson
you.
the winner.
He plays one of the Kens in Barbie. Did you realize that?
Really?
Yeah.
Bob Marley?
Yeah, Bob Marley. Kingsley Ben Adir.
Stoner Ken?
We'll all know him once he gets that Oscar.
That's right.
It's
Household
coming
name.
out in February, which is
That's a great sign.
terrible sign. Comes out Valentine's Day.
That's going to be like $40 VOD on 420. They're going to try to mark that up so high.
All right, let's get out of here.
No gambling.
Got to gamble.
All right, let's get out of here.
Gambling on Poor Things.
Now, what is this?
Brian, it's the Yargos Lanthimos.
Yes, I know.
I mean, honestly, 100% truth here. I if I had to watch one trailer, well, I mean, we all kind of secretly love the One Love trailer now we just discovered, but more douche chills with Poor Things trailer. It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, but
that looks like Yargos Lanthimos trying to do Wes Anderson.
yeah, but Yorgos is he's catnip to these critics.
Well, that's true. I'm just talking about the movie. I'm not talking about the gambling right now. You're right, but doesn't it seem like he's trying to do a little Wes Anderson almost with like the over the top acting? Even
Yeah.
Ruffalo, who's so good at being a dramatic, subtle actor, is doing these big motions and stuff. I don't know if I'm digging. Hopefully, I'm completely wrong. Hopefully, the trailer is just.
Hopefully you're wrong.
Yeah, I hope I'm very wrong. I have a score though.
Oh, do you?
He's swinging for the fences, Brian.
Hold on. All right, I have a number.
So do I. On 3. 1, 2, 82.
89. What is it?
82.
82. 89.
All right. Anderson gets 82. Brian 89
No scores.
with 110 reviews.
Ooh,
Current Rotten Tomato score is 93.
nice.
Who the fuck cheats every week? Who is that?
You won last week. You're
you.
off by a point.
Yeah, it changed like wildly. It was like a huge fluctuation.
It was?
I don't know.
I don't think it was.
Felt good to say, though.
All right, let's get out of here. Let's go.
I don't know. Is 89 the score? Is it to cheat?
All right, good night, everybody. Thanks. Give us Eric Kath. Thank you very much for all the work you do on our YouTube channel. We are always. We should have seen the great lengths we went to in the
Oh, yeah.
in the Chateau Marmont today to make sure that we had a decent angle and everyone could see everything that was
Everyone's
going
in
on.
frame.
I fell asleep during the show at one point. It's not a. Everyone else was great. I was sick. I was with a headache. I was so listless today. Apologies to you, but everyone else there, but Florence and Mike and DVK and Avery all brought it. Brian was there too.
Yeah, I agree. All accounts.
Good listener art this week.
That's it. All right, Brian.
I'm reading the listener art. It is subtitle heavy, but it is good.
Brian.
It's worth the read.
Enjoyable.
Go.
I'm reading the listener art.
Yeah.
Thanks, Zoltan, for submitting that. Excellent as always. Check out AndersonandBryan.com where you can check that out. AOV, as Avery pointed out, is our featured artist. Check them out, AndersonandBryan.com. Anderson and Bryan is the Instagram. Anderson and Bryan is it? Oh.
Here we go. That
Spectrum.
was only a minute
Is
long.
there any song longer than a minute?
No, there's
On
not.
Rocket.
Anderson and Bryan is TikTok, The Film Vault, Twitter, Facebook, and on YouTube, it's The Film Vault Podcast. You're going to want to remember that for the Christmas episode so you can see all the gifts being opened. Thank you all our Patreon listeners. Appreciate you. Check us out over there at patreon.com/thefilmvault. The Amazon banner still resides at topandersonandbryan.com, and that's where you go to tap and shop for all your holiday needs. Thank you very much for considering us. Yeah, what else is there to say? Loaded for Bear Dog.
Loaded for Bear Doc. We continue to work. Hopefully, we're thinking end of spring we will have something to show all the supporters at the very least. That's the goal. I worry about Mike once this project's over. I don't know how he's going to continue to come hang out with us over at the Bornak Players because he's always behind his camera. But maybe I can get him to be an actual assistant. That'd be nice.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice. All right, check that out. Check us out at AndersonandBryan.com. Until then.
We do it for Van Gogh.